Pop, pop, pop.
Can we all do the mouth?
Are we good?
Shut up, everyone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I am your host for today, Garnt, and with me, as usual, are the boys, Joey and whoever this baby man is right now, and
15-year-old Connor.
we got 15-year-old Connor, and once again we have another special guest with us. If you remember, has it been exactly 1 year?
No, a little close, very close there.
Yeah, pretty close. I think it's been a little bit over a year, but I'm glad to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Always happy to appear as a guest if you will have me.
Who are you? Introduce yourself.
I guess I should do that for people that don't know. Hi, my name is Mori Calliope, and I am from Hololive English, first generation myth, and basically I'm the first apprentice of the Grim Reaper, but I mostly do like music and streaming these days. So yeah, thank you very much for having me. I have been on the podcast before, actually. This is round number 2, highly requested.
Couldn't get enough.
We were just at the Combini and we were like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, Callie? Come
hey,
on.
guys.
Well, that's
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
come on.
Yeah, sure.
You got a new outfit, looking great, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You even got your own mic as
Brought
well.
your microphone.
I did. I thought that I would just go ahead and...
Is that the Neumann U80?
Yeah, I wanted to be as
Top
convenient as possible. Top quality. For the
Nice.
most part.
Yeah. So how have you been? It's been like a good year.
Oh man. Tired but good. Tired but good. I think it's.
Could you be more tired than last time? I remember last time you were like Grim Reaper has a part-time job and
Yeah.
a part-time job.
Yeah, you're working like 3 jobs at
Yeah,
a
it was
time, right?
insane.
Yeah.
I was super busy, but then I finally got into a position where I could, focus completely on what I'm doing now. So
Hell
I'm very
yeah.
lucky. I'm
Nice.
very lucky, and I'm glad that it turned out that way because I definitely would have died, which is ironic considering who I am. So it would have been a bad situation. But interestingly enough, I feel now that I'm like controlling my own schedule, I'm busier than I was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're filling in all the blanks. That's how it works. You're like, oh, I have 1 second free at this moment. Perhaps I could
stream
schedule in a
here.
meeting.
Yeah, I remember last time talking to you, you were just like, yeah, I'm working 3 jobs. I kind of feel bad if I quit one, and like, I think it took a month for you to realize, yeah, that's just not doable.
That's just some idea.
That was a bad idea.
Just impossible.
Well, it's a good thing to honor your commitments.
Yeah.
But there's also a point where honoring your commitments actively fucks yourself over.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
you can always just be like, this just isn't working out for me. I'm gonna not do this. I think.
Yeah.
That
I think
might work.
last time you were on the podcast, you had 300,000 subs or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing VTubing at that point? How long had that been?
I think it had only been about 2 or 3 months since we all had debuted together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a baby back then. I remember. I think Hololive English just got announced a few months before we started filming that
Yeah,
episode, so
that's
it was
right.
super fresh.
And now you're at
Yeah.
how many subs now?
I think we just hit 1,750,000 subscribers recently.
You're
So
like, maybe, I don't know.
big up.
thank you. I'm doing my best.
It's pretty impressive after a year, honestly,
Yeah.
to any capacity.
Good. I wish I could hit that in a year.
Yeah,
My
right?
God.
I mean, I do think a lot of it has to do with my music personally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the majority of my fans come from. In fact, I see a lot of comments these days saying, I don't really know what a VTuber is, but I like Mori's music, so that's cool. And that's always, I'm happy to see that as well. I'm very
Does it feel like a year?
grateful.
Or does it feel like 5 years?
It's like it changes every day. Like every day I feel a different way about it. Like I feel like maybe for example yesterday I was reflecting back and I'm like, man, time has gone by so fast. But the previous week I was like, man, what a long year it's been. Have I been doing this for 5 years maybe?
Yeah, YouTube is like a reverse hyperbolic time chamber. where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like-
it is.
It's like, oh god, feel like I've done this for a decade. It's like, oh, it's been 2 months. Oh shit, all right.
Yeah, sometimes as a YouTuber, it feels like 5 years or 5 months. I can't tell sometimes.
I mean, it must feel like fucking ages
Oh my
for
fuck.
you.
I've
You've
been
been doing this for how long now?
I feel like I've aged 100 years on YouTube. My God.
There's some OGs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. I completely forgot what I was going to say now.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man. We've been doing this for how many episodes now?
Bad host.
No problem, man. But I do have to say though, one thing that has really made it seem like it's been a long time is realizing just how little I knew at the beginning.
Yeah. How much have you learned?
Oh God. I mean, honestly, to be completely real with you guys, as I mentioned before, I did a lot of music stuff before this as well. But I feel like this year I've put out more content than I have in my entire career before this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I really learned a lot about like work ethic and what it means to consistently put out content every single day.
Yeah, that's something you don't really think about when you get into the online creation field, right? Is that you kind of have to, it is a job and you have to schedule your job.
Just call Garnt out. Just call him out. call him out. Garnt's like, content? Jeez.
Content? Well, what is that?
Scheduling? What's that?
Guys, I'm working on something big, I swear to God.
Everybody's
Maybe this 5th Fate video will be the one.
5 months later.
I feel like everyone has a different like interpretation of what content consists of.
She's learning.
It really depends on the person. Like for example, I've seen plenty of requests for a sleeping stream.
Yeah.
That's not really what I'm interested in, but I've
Yeah,
seen plenty of
yeah.
others do it, and I guess
How's
quote
that,
unquote
Connor?
do it well.
You've done that,
Yeah,
right?
you've done that.
Yeah.
When I see VTubers sleep, I'm like, oh, that's cheating. That's
Yeah,
cheating. Come on, unless there's a chance that you could expose your bare ass, I feel like it's not really. Well, there's no danger there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like as a VTuber, you could cheat the system
Because the
somewhat,
model,
right?
the model can just kind of prop. You have this wonderful ability where
I'm not saying you would do that,
No,
of
no,
course,
no,
Callie.
yeah,
Of course.
That's-
course.
you can call
Yeah.
it like it is. I'm fine. I'll take
VTubers
it.
have this amazing ability that when they're not there, they can still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of takes away some of the magic of sleep stream.
Yeah, Callie can just sleep in another room.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
just slowly there, right?
Just put on a sleep track, like snoring in the background.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm actually in another room. I mean, it's scary though. What if you sleep talk? You can't risk that.
Okay, I did mute my mic just because I didn't want
You didn't want to take that risk?
I didn't want to. I sometimes sleep talk. I sleep shout as well.
Yeah.
I've been known.
I don't
to
know what
just-
kind of racist shit I'm shouting during my sleep.
I recently went on a trip with Chris, and he said that I woke up at night and just like shouted, and then like woke up and then just went back to bed
What?
after I shouted.
Are you
I do
okay?
that. I do
Yeah.
that. That happens. Yeah, it happens.
Really?
Do you guys snore
Just
a
holding
lot?
back these W's in my dream, man. Sorry, what can I say?
Do you guys snore at all? When you sleep?
I want to tell you no, Garnt, but let's be honest, I probably do.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
you definitely do.
Okay,
You definitely do.
Yeah.
Call me out, all right?
I remember, I think it was the drifting special where someone was snoring bad on
Yeah.
the drifting special
Probably
because
Chris.
like,
It must have been Chris. That was Chris.
let's just blame Chris anyway.
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
here. Let's blame
Can't
Chris.
defend himself, can he?
Yeah,
So-
but no, you always have that one friend who just like is the snorer of the group, and it's always like a time limit. It's always like a race to get to sleep before that guy starts snoring, right?
And if there's like
It's all
multiple
over.
snorers, there's always like 2 level 1 people, and then there's like 1 level 100 person, right? It's like, oh, you're
God.
clearly making like 90% of the noise.
What I hate is when there's two people who like normally they're just like level 1 snorers,
Yeah.
but like for some reason when they sleep together they feed into each other, right?
It's the resonance of the snores. You know?
It becomes like this like horrible cacophony of like snoring.
How do you know if you snore though? That's the question.
Well, usually like a
well,
partner tells you, right?
My significant half tells me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm just like I'm not recording myself sleep. What am I?
Yeah. Has anyone ever told you if you snore or if you sleep
Yeah.
sleep talk or anything like that?
I went on a trip with Kiara a while ago. We went to Hokkaido, and she said that I just talked so much in my sleep.
I do
all
that too.
the time. She was like, one night you sounded sad, like you were crying. Then one night you were laughing, and it was horrifying. Wow.
Those bars are just like constantly coming, right?
It doesn't stop. It
I just
doesn't
performed
stop.
the entirety of Rap God in my sleep.
You're like an oracle to the rap god.
I mean, I guess I could at this point. I did practice that song a lot.
It's like she's speaking.
Can you perform Rap God now?
Let's see. Some lama, dama lama. You assuming I'm a human? What I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I make it. I can't pronounce it. I don't have the lyrics in front of me.
Oh, that was pretty fucking
You could
impressive.
have been lying to me there, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known. It doesn't sound like English.
You know,
to me.
you could have just said yes.
Yeah,
We would have
Yes.
believed you.
Well, I did a rap endurance stream recently where I mastered, quote unquote, mastered Godzilla, Rap God, and the poker rap. And interestingly enough, the most difficult of all of them was the poker rap.
Oh yeah.
How do you pronounce Gyarados? Like, is it Gyarados?
Wait, how do you pronounce
I always say
Gyarados.
Gyarados.
I said
Gyarados.
See, that's the interesting thing is that I went on Google Sensei, who told me that the pronunciation is different in American English and
Really?
UK English.
Really? How do you say
It's
it?
I say
different.
Gyarados, but I know they say Gyarados or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Gyarados?
It's like
Gyarados.
Gyarados.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
I say Garrett. I say Gyarados.
Yeah.
Gyarados.
Because in Japanese it's Gyarados.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
I'm like, I'll just take it from there.
I know, but I mean, we're talking about. I've always got it from the English dub, which I swear they say Gyarados.
But the
Gyarados.
English dub is never
Yeah,
consistent.
but we're all so stupid. We're British guys. We have to understand something.
I remember like in the English dub, because there was like another one that always gets heatedly debated is, do you say Groudon or do you say Groudon?
A Groudon. I've always thought it was
Who the fuck says
Groudon.
Groudon?
Because in the
Croutons?
anime they say it two different times.
I'm going to show my age now. What's Groudon? Is that one of the newer
Hey.
Pokemon?
Hey, that's from the third gen. The third gen is my fave, to be honest. But
It's the same gen that like Rayquaza is from.
Do you know
Yeah,
Groudon?
yeah.
Oh,
Sapphire,
that's
Yeah, Ruby,
fun.
Sapphire, Emerald.
Those
Yeah,
are my
okay.
fave.
I think.
And Groudon is like the guy on the front of the Ruby cover, like the big
Okay.
like
Yeah,
monster
yeah.
looking,
The
the Godzilla
legend.
looking.
Yeah.
What's the blue one called?
Kyogre.
Yeah, Kyogre.
It's the fucking stingray, right?
That's like a whale.
Kill Steve Owen.
Steve Irwin died from Kyogre, obviously.
Wait, what's its name?
Kyogre.
Kyogre.
Yeah, something like that.
But I've heard it being pronounced like
Where did
Kyogre.
the name come from?
I think
if it's like that's just not a memorable name for me, right? Like Lugia, that's an easy name to remember.
Yeah.
Like Zapdos, easy name to remember. Like fucking Ruby Sapphire Pass, they're just like, I swear they're just using Welsh. You know, it's just like
what the fuck? Don't brainwash
like
them,
how am
this.
I supposed to remember this?
I mean, you do not want to play the newer ones. Then.
Yeah, the
Let me
newer
tell you
ones are
what.
like.
Do you like Clef Key?
What?
He is my favorite.
You know Clef Key, right?
Which one is that?
It's the keys.
It's literally the pair of keys.
the pair of keys.
It's my
Wow,
favorite
I'm-
fucking Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like an actual like strong Pokemon for like trolling
Yeah.
as well. Like
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Steel Fairy type.
yeah.
I feel like they just dropped a ball on the keyboard and I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's the Pokemon name now.
What
And
about
that's
Garbados? Is it what is it?
garbage dose.
Yes, it's literally like a garbage Pokemon.
Garbados or something?
Yeah, Garbados. Yeah.
Garbados. It's the garbage Pokemon.
Yeah, I wonder
It's
if
just
It's
literally
literally a
Okay,
trash,
garbage
It's
dose.
a trash bag with hands and legs.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's an ice cream one too.
Oh
they're,
yeah, Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Never out of ideas, I see.
No, not Vanilla Ice. That's a rival.
Isn't that
I was gonna say
isn't that a character from JoJo?
Oh, man.
So sorry about this.
See, that's why the poker app is so hard though, because I'll think that I got through it. I'll be like, oh yeah, Pidgeot, and then the chat will just be full of, it's Pidgeot, you dummy. I guess we're starting over again. Great, that's the second to last name in the poker app. We
so-
get to start all the way over.
How long is the poker app? Because I assume you did the full version with all 151.
150, yeah, exactly.
I think it's like 3 minutes, but it feels like 30.
Yeah.
But didn't they put it at the end of the episode?
Yeah.
No, but they only put like a small snippet.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
It's only like half of them, I think. The full one is like 3-4 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's about 3 to 4 minutes, but you know the hardest part is remembering how to pronounce everything without people being like, "Hey, that ain't right."
The one line that always stuck with me during the poker app, because like I grew up with that shit, is did you perform it properly, Callie? Where it's like the last line is like Charmeleon, and then it's Wartortle.
Wartortle!
Yeah, it's like they got
Yeah.
like a metal singer, and it's like it's for only that part though. It's like Charmeleon. It's like Wartortle. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. What happened with Wartortle? Though?
We were making
Jesus
fun of that
Christ.
actually during the stream. My chat was really excited about that one part.
Yeah,
I definitely
I didn't know the poker
Lady
app.
Beard appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like,
It's like
I got
I didn't know
this.
this rap song required like a fucking death growl and like a metal singer.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That's a fun song though.
It was a fun song.
yeah, because like I remember always trying to like learn the poker rap when I was younger, and I can't rap. Yeah, as we've all established.
I would pay
Like-
good money to watch a childhood Garnt in his mirror trying to sing the Pokemon rap. I would pay a lot of money for that. Pleasure.
Yeah, me
How many
too, I wanna
Pokemon
see
are
that.
there nowadays?
700 and something.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 750
We're gonna
odds.
reach 1,000.
At which point do you guys recognize all the Pokemon?
No.
I think
given
I know what gen they're from.
yeah,
think.
I can tell you what gen they're from.
But I
couldn't
don't
tell
know
you
the
the
names. Yeah, the names are like impossible. The names are like hard mode. But
Yeah.
didn't who's that YouTuber? Brian, the guy who used to be for Polygon.
Oh, Brian David Gilbert.
Yeah, didn't
he made
he-
a new poker
Yeah,
rap.
they had like all of them.
Yeah,
and
and it was
shit,
fucking
really?
insane. Yeah, like he like split up to 3 separate like parts of the song basically.
God.
And he did like every Pokemon. It was fucking insane.
wanna see
very
that.
good.
The
It's very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
curious.
And he performed it live as well at a
Wow.
panel, which is like even more insane.
Holy shit.
The total Pokemon now is 898.
Yeah. Super boomers who even mean traded now.
898.
Wow, that's a lot.
I'm curious. You've been streaming now for like over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the fun streams that you've done, like the unique ones that have really stood out in your
Yeah.
mind? I'm curious because I want to know what kind of streams you jive
What
with
is
the
your
most.
favorite content that
Yeah,
you produce?
content. Yeah.
No,
Content.
quote unquote content. I did a staring contest one time.
Wait, how does that? Wait, what you did?
Yeah, so
How did
I was
not
at a
see
friend's
this?
house that I hadn't seen in a while, and I really couldn't reschedule hanging out with her. So I went into the bathroom in the morning, and I took my laptop, I took my USB microphone, I pulled myself real up close to the camera, and I did a staring contest with everyone, and it did really well, actually. There were a lot of people
course
viewing
it
that
did.
stream at once.
How long did that last?
About an hour, but see, it kind of devolved. It wasn't entirely only me staring at everyone. In the beginning, I started off like being just kind of like sleepy and quite frankly a bit rude to everyone in chat. I feel a little bad about that. But then afterwards, we got onto some fun content, quote unquote content. I actually went and I found some old copy pastas to try and read without cracking a smile on the stream, and I got through Shrek. I got through Shrek.
That actually
Oh,
sounds
Shrek
like
is love. Shrek is life.
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like a genius idea.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
steal this.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Dude, meme streams always perform
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that got me though, I don't know if you guys know this one. Of all the ones to get me, the one that got me was Club Penguin is Kill.
Oh, yeah.
I love that
I
one.
love that one.
What is that one?
Boy,
you
I
wanna-
think you got to
Yeah,
experience
can you perform
it
it?
for yourself. If I could pull it up on my phone, I'd do it for you.
Oh.
But
We need to get it up.
Is it a copy pasta? Is it a meme?
copy
What is
pasta.
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Club
like a
Penguin is
tweet
good,
actually.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'll get it
okay.
up. Hold on.
Thanks.
A live
Give it a
reading.
read,
Yeah, a live reading of Club Penguin.
And I'll try not to laugh this time because it actually wasn't the copy pasta itself that got me to laugh. It was
This is the
chat.
one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to go into the void now. He's got to
Yeah,
like
well-
cut.
Yeah,
Let
just
the
cut.
camera
Just
on.
cut.
Camera
All
on.
right, cut.
All right, here's my live reading. Here we go. This is from Sergeant Arch Dornan, who left a tweet about Club Penguin after it shut down. Apology for bad English. Where were you when Club Penguin die? I was at house eating Dorito when phone ring. Club Penguin is kill. No. Why is it funny? Just why? No. Just, what is it about it that is so funny?
It's the Dorito, man.
It's the Dorito. It's a single
I
Dorito.
was at house eating Dorito.
But the saddest part is the part that got me to laugh was just everyone in chat saying no. That was it. That was what got me.
We're not gonna add
Gotta
some
hand
like
it to
epic
Chad.
music as you were reading that or something, man.
Club Penguin is
Thank you
killed.
so much for
Thank
that
you very much for
dramatic
that.
reading. Wow.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go
It's
ahead.
the first copy pasta we've had on Trash Taste.
Hell yeah.
Hope you guys don't get in trouble for this content.
No.
Shall I sneak back the phone
All right.
through the void?
Through the
Cut.
Through the void.
Cut.
Cut that. There we go.
It's like, how do you think up of ideas for streams? Because one thing about streamers is that how often do you stream every week?
It depends. I really started to try and get more into 5 streams a week when I was focusing more on music, but October has been really busy because, you know, it's Halloween. It's my
Yeah.
favorite month. I am the Grim Reaper, so I've been doing like 7 to 9 a week.
Wait, 7 to 9?
7 to 9 streams a week.
Yes.
Is that a stream every day?
Yeah,
You know
sometimes
there's
two.
7 days in a week. Right?
That's right. That's right. Well, sometimes I'll clump them together because the way I see it is if I can get one day off where I don't have to worry about anything, that's great. But if I can like do 2 streams at once in a day, it's like I can get all of it done.
Wait,
in a
and you're
day.
doing music on top of this as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. What the fuck, Callie?
Still different.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, I mean, I like streaming a lot. It's great, but my passion at the end of all of it is music, and I can't
Yeah.
resist doing that.
course.
Working on music.
How do you
as
think
well.
up of 9 different streams a week? Does it like? Do you like sometimes? Is it easy? Do you have like an idea that you fall back on, or does it get like tiring having to think up of like variety streams and
Because I
different
think,
things you
I
can
think
do?
Garnt can only think of 9 videos a year, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah.
God's like, shit, fate.
Fuck, how many fake videos can I do?
Interestingly enough, it's a situation where I keep thinking of things that I want to stream in that week, and then I end up clogging up my schedule. So there are just a lot of games that I want to play. There was a situation where I ordered the Wii U 4 different times. I finally got it. Yeah,
Like,
so
what-
let me
what?
explain. Let me explain how this went down. So I ordered a Wii U while I was in America, so that I could have it shipped, and then I could take it back with me to Japan, so that I could play Earthbound, because I've been really trying to
Right.
do an Earthbound playthrough on stream. And so I got that, but it arrived too late in America. I was already in Japan. So then I ordered one to come to Japan, a Japanese one. I thought you could change the language to English. You cannot.
No.
So that didn't work out. Everything I read on the internet was a lie about that. So I gave it to a friend. And then after that, I ordered one on eBay from America. They tried to deliver it to my house. After one failed delivery attempt, sent it back to America. So finally, I got one off of Amazon that they were willing to ship to Japan, and it arrived. And finally, I have a freaking Wii U. So I can
4
play
Wii U's
Four
later.
Wii U's later.
4
My
Wii U's
lord.
later. Yeah, but back to the question. There are too many things that I want to do.
I feel you.
I feel you.
Put Earthbound on the stream. Oh, but I gotta finish playing Doom Eternal. Oh, but there's this other game that I want to play. Wait a minute, we just got permission for this? I want to stream this before anyone else, kind of thing, you know? 2 different people want to do a collaboration. Well, I always love doing collabs with people that reach out to me, so let's do it. Everyone's been asking for a Minecraft stream. Let's play Minecraft. You know, I haven't done a chatting stream in a while. I want to let everyone know what's going on. I want to talk about my new song that just came out. I mean, I haven't done an ASMR stream in a while. It's just all these ideas come to me, and I'm like,
Man, I wish I could be this full of ideas, man.
I mean, it's a bit of a stressor, though. I really should learn to spread things out more often. I just get real excited about, I have an idea. Let's do it now. You know?
Well, it sounds like you've gone from like 3 part-time jobs to working 3 part-time jobs in 1 job. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it does feel like that. When you're in charge of your own schedule, it gets to be like that sometimes. You
Yeah.
know?
I saw that you are doing a convention appearance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it almost strange doing it virtually as opposed to IRL?
That's a good question. It does feel a little unreal sometimes, but then
Yeah.
once I see like all the fans gathered
Right,
together,
right.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it all
Cool.
starts to settle
Yeah.
in, and I'm like, oh man, this is a real thing. Wow, people really like us. And
Yeah.
I think once we started, like for example, doing the fan expo panels, that was when
Yeah.
I kind of started to realize like how many fans we have, and
Yeah.
it made it all super real for me. So that was
Do
cool.
you ever feel a bit sad that you can never interact with them directly? Is that
Yeah,
Because to us that's like a big part of us going to conventions, right? Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I hope that there's a day where that kind of thing can happen. I mean, I have a friend I've talked about on the stream before, Milky Queen. She does things like that,
Yeah.
going to conventions and can actually like meet full body in front of like a green screen in front of in front of the fans,
Oh,
and like
nice.
they can touch the screen and like high five her and stuff like that. And that's something I'd love to do. I don't really know if that's something that Holo can accomplish right now, but I think it would be amazing personally.
Technology these days, man.
All kinds of
Everyone get in
crazy stuff.
VR and wear the haptic suits.
Yeah, that's right. We
What was
actually
it called
did
now?
a-
Like the metaverse or whatever? Like is
that's-
that what like
that's
Facebook?
Facebook, yeah.
Is that what like
Oh, do they
Facebook
have
are
a
trying
name
to
for it?
develop or something?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Basically, Facebook just make VTubers because that will make the interest just like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, we did do a VR stream. Myself and all of the Myth girls, we did for our anniversary. We all got into VR chat, and we actually all bought the suits to like track our movements and stuff like that. And
wow.
we went in as like small versions of ourselves.
I saw
Like
this.
little
Yeah, I did see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was so fun, and it made me want to meet with the others even more, so that we can really fully debut someday in 3D.
Is it weird wearing like the full tracking suit? I've
What
never
what,
worn
what
it.
is the full tracking suit? Is it the one
Like the mocap?
Is it the actual mocap suit, or is it the one where it's like on the?
I think it's
wrist?
like
the
it's like one.
trackers.
It's like 2 on the hands, 2 on the feet, and then like 1 on your waist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can track your waist movements. I had a little too much fun with that though, with all the tracking. I was moving around maybe a little too much. Probably could have dialed it back a bit, but I was so excited to like be in a 3D space, able to
Yeah.
move with my friends. You know.
Yeah, VR is definitely like that the first time. You're like, holy shit, and then you realize that you're like sweating a lot, and then you've burnt like 10,000 calories. But you're having so much fun. Have you played this game called Gorilla Tag?
no.
What?
Just so on the topic of VR, so Connor had his housewarming party the other day, and Chris was there, and seeing Chris try VR for the first time was a
Yeah.
fucking sight to behold.
We gave Chris a few drinks, and I was like,
few.
I was like,
drinks.
I was like, Chris, you should try playing Super Hot.
Super. Oh,
And
no.
Chris
I'm
was
so
like,
upset I missed out on
dude,
that.
he was like rolling on the floor, doing like jumps and shit, like James Bond in my bedroom, smacking the walls, like nearly
Yeah.
broke all my JoJo posters.
First thing I see, I walk in and Chris is like fucking fucking punching someone. He punches like a JoJo poster right there.
Broke it. Like he's full on punching in VR. I'm like, Chris, it's okay. It's okay. Oh my God, nearly destroyed my apartment. He was like, what is this? It's shit. It's shit. He put it on. He loved it. It's classic Chris.
But that's VR, right? It's like, I've tried to talk so many people into VR and they're just like, nah, I don't get it. It's probably not for me. It's definitely one of those things that you just have to try. And it's like, once you try it, then you fully understand. Like, you could give a fucking dissertation on why VR is awesome, and you probably couldn't get it.
I mean, like, the thing about VR is that I can only play VR for a certain amount of time before I just... It just feels less casual, you know. I don't know. I sweat a lot in the VR headset.
You got to play Gorilla Tag. That's where the real.
What's Gorilla Tag?
Yeah, how do you play?
It's exactly what it sounds like. You're gorillas and you tag each other.
Oh boy.
I did it on stream,
right?
And I thought it would just be like chasing people.
Yeah.
Turns out it's just like 10-year-olds, just like playing as a gorillas.
What do you mean?
It's all 10-year-olds. I joined a lobby and 10-year-olds are like swearing and saying horrible things, and I was like.
So it's just Xbox Live all over.
It's literally, if you want Xbox, go and play Gorilla Tag, right? Because what happens is the way you...
Connor gets to relive his childhood. Yeah. That's why he loved it so much.
No. I did not like this. I realized the power you have as a kid is unobtainable as an adult. Those kids could say and do anything, and I can't say that shit back to them. It's just so unfair. The kids can say whatever they want, and it's like,
what do you mean it's unfair?
I want to be able to call that kid a little shit.
Why not?
Why can't you call that
I'm
kid
on
a little
stream.
shit?
I can't say it. Off stream, I'll say it. I was come here, you little shit.
It's fine. Chad will do it for you. Chad will do it for you on your behalf.
Yeah. Please come in and just.
What were they saying to you?
They were saying words that you cannot say on stream.
Okay.
You know.
And were you streaming?
And I was streaming. There's a clip of me. I go in a world. I join it, and one of the kids is saying the word that you cannot say.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right then, gonna go away, and then just left the world because he was saying this 10-year-old kid was screaming it. But it's really fun, right? So what you do is you have the controllers, and they act as your.
Sounds like a bunch of apes in there.
Yeah.
Yes, precisely. So you have two of the VR controllers, right?
Yeah.
And those are your legs and your arms. So when you want to move, you have to like jump with the legs. You have to, like, around to push off them.
Right.
And people are insane at it. These kids are insane at it. They're like flying across the map, and I can barely move. I really felt like a boomer. You should play Gorilla Tag.
Oh,
how long do you play VR for though? How long did you stream for?
3 hours, 4 hours.
3 hours. Did you not get sweaty?
Because that's extremely sweaty.
Okay, that's what puts me off VR. It's like I stream for I play for an hour, I get really sweaty, and then you don't take the VR set off. You fucking peel it off at that point, right?
But
it just doesn't feel good.
At least the Index has the removable face thing.
Yeah.
So you can like clean it. So I didn't feel too disgusted by it.
Right. So you're just like cycling through the foam parts.
I'm like cleaning it a lot.
Okay.
Wait, which headset are you using?
I'm using the Valve Index. Yeah.
Oh, okay, same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good.
I hate wires though.
I hate that as
The
well.
wires are the only thing that like take you out of it, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like once it gets to like wireless headsets that are like high quality, then I would get more invested into VR.
Well, Oculus 2, right, is like the wireless one, right?
Yeah, I think it's not the specs aren't as good as the Index though, but I mean it's still it's pretty good from what I've heard.
I haven't streamed on my Oculus 2 yet, but I bought it just because I heard that there's no wires. I'm like, good.
That's
great.
fair, the Index is like super easy to use.
Yeah.
Like,
Was that the first time you had tried VR, or had you tried VR before your stream?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I kind of wasn't interested at all in it. But, you know, Amelia is like the tech wizard in Myth. And she was just kind of like, hey, what if we did a big VR collab for our anniversary? And all of us were like, okay, but how? And she's like, no, it's super easy. And she told us everything we needed to buy.
That sounds like a technical nightmare.
Game of God.
My
Right?
God.
Jesus.
Oh my
so
God.
everyone
Imagine
would
trying
do
to
stuff.
like schedule that and sort that shit out.
Yeah,
I go through enough technical issues just like
On my
streaming
own.
just streaming on my PC on my own, let alone like doing a cross-continental VR stream.
Oh my God.
With motion capture.
She worked really hard.
I'm curious, is there anything with being a VTuber over the past year that you've learned is like annoyingly difficult that other people would just never consider?
Oh, let me think. This is a tough one. One sec.
No worries.
I gotta
no
think,
worries.
because there are a lot of things that are difficult.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Because
but
I feel like I don't appreciate how difficult it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
I just look at them and I just think, oh wow, you guys don't have to worry about how you look. You can just like turn on the model. That's great. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff, you know, behind the scenes that we have to do is the thing.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
A lot
yeah,
of people, you know, they see us for like maybe like 2-3 hours if you stream for a short amount of time. If you do like an endurance stream, 8 hours, sure. But here's the thing though. When we when we press like go live and like after we're done, stop the stream. Immediately what I do is I go sit on the couch and I start making thumbnails. I make a bunch of thumbnails for the week, then I have to make the schedule, which, last night took me about an hour and a half.
So you make the thumbnails yourself?
Yes.
Oh my god!
I think most VTubers do, right?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Why?
That's the one thing. That's the one thing that's the one thing I'm so impressed with VTubers is that they always have like unique thumbnails for everything, and I'm like, I didn't realize how grateful I am that Twitch you don't have to do that.
Yeah, how did you learn how to do that? Because not to be like a dumb question, but thumbnails are like a very fine art that a lot of YouTubers learn as they go along. I mean, I didn't know how to make good thumbnails until like a year or two after I started doing it properly.
There's people on the platform that have been on for like 10 years that still don't know how to make
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that you just kind of learn along the way, because for me, I had no idea. My thumbnail game was real weak before, but I had to get good at it, and I started kind of seeing what others did as well, and not completely taking everything that everyone did, but little things here and there that I'd notice and be like, I should do like a stroke layer on this text like this, and it'll look a lot better, and a drop shadow here, and that kind of stuff. And it's all just like fine little things you'd never really think super hard about, but they do make a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How long do you guys spend in your thumbnails?
I try to do it as little as possible.
Yeah.
I try and outsource it as much as I can.
See, this guy's working smart. I think I spend maybe like max 30 minutes. I'm quite short when it comes to thumbnails.
I feel like if you have the capacity to pay someone else to do something, you should pay someone else to do something.
No, but like, there's
It's work. It's business. I want more time to do my stuff.
no, exactly.
Like
but
for some people, they value the creative
Sound privilege, I
aspect
know.
of it.
Shut up.
You're
Jay Chad laughing at me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, for example, for VTubers, there's so many of them that want to be in control of their own thumbnails that it becomes a creativity thing.
I feel like thumbnails are important because with you've got an artist doing a lot of your thumbnails, and aside from that, it's like taking the perfect shot on scene or something. Yeah. Whereas my thumbnails can take up to like some thumbnails I can outsource, some I can't, because even I don't know how to market some of my videos, right? I don't know. For me, like when you upload twice a week or recently once a month, you need to make that fucking thumbnail count, man.
Twice a week.
No, sorry, twice a month. Once every 2 weeks. You need to make those thumbnails count. Like with Trash Taste, it's just like easy. If one thumbnail doesn't hit, you go next week. With me, I'm just like, if this thumbnail doesn't hit, I gotta wait a fucking month, man. Like that shit hurts.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you thought about perhaps uploading more often?
Well, that means making content that's faster to make. Yeah.
Pressure, there's less pressure on making that perfect thumbnail, right?
Joe, I am making as much content as I possibly can, Joey. Please, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing that people also don't realize is one big factor is just simply the energy it takes to be you all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm putting up a schedule for a new stream, I got to put in a description that I think kind of, either matches, or is this too much? Am I saying too many things in the description? You overthink a lot in this job. Am I going to put out a tweet that like says a lot of things, or like one sentence, a couple words?
Yeah.
Like, you have to always think about this kind of stuff, and scheduling meetings as well. That's another big thing.
It's interesting that you mention about description and tags, I guess, and the tweet and everything, because I think over the 6 years, what I've learned is that I just don't care about any of that now. And that I do you care about your description anymore?
No.
I used to care, right? And then I found out that like all the big channels just don't do any of that. They don't put anything in the tags.
I think my experience, there's two things that matters: title, thumbnail.
That's
literally the only real thing you need to worry about. Tags and stuff and descriptions and stuff. It doesn't help as much anymore. And like I know this now because have you guys gone through this issue recently with YouTube, right? Where you search for a certain video, right? And then the first 3 searches are pertaining to that search. And then for some reason, after about 5 searches, it just goes back to your recommendations nowadays. I'm just like, what is the point of the search function anymore? If the first 5 videos aren't what I'm searching for, then I'm just fucked.
Or it's like viewers of your channel also viewed this. It's like, I don't care. That's not what I searched for.
Yeah, that's literally not what I searched for. It's gone to the point where, back when YouTube started, it's just like, okay, I subscribe to the channels I want to watch. YouTube's like, no. You don't want to watch these channels. You want to watch these channels. And I'm like, okay, maybe I get recommendations. Yeah. Now it's just like, I want to search for a specific video, and YouTube's like, No, you don't.
you don't.
You don't want to search for that.
the
You want to watch
dreaded
these videos.
algorithm.
The ones that annoy me the most is like after the 5th search, it's like, here's a new video from someone you're subscribed to. I'm like, what is the point of the subscriptions? I can check that. There is an entire page for that.
What is the point of pages now? Because all pages are just going to become the same page eventually,
exactly.
right?
So annoying.
Like, what is the point of the search bar? So yeah, like to me, like descriptions and tags don't mean as much anymore. It's all about title, thumbnail, viewer retention, because it's all recommendations. We all bow down to the almighty algorithm.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunately what you got to do to be a YouTuber nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, I guess it does make sense that it should be, what you say and what you create, and not necessarily what you're typing into the description, right? I mean, every time that I see, for example, some of my gem mates, they just throw up a schedule, nothing in the description. I'm like, wow, what a bunch of chads. Like, I really do that. 'Cause it doesn't matter, but I mean, I don't know. I guess there's still some things I'm figuring out, day by day. I've gotten a lot better than I was in the past, and I feel good about that. So, day by day, though, you can always learn new stuff, especially in this job.
I feel like you've learned
changing.
like a shitload in just a year. to be honest.
Considering what you've learned in this year and what you've done in this year, it's actually insane.
Yeah.
Compared to, I look back on some of the years I've had on YouTube, and I'm just like, I'm doing fucking nothing.
How do you mainly, would you say you learn things on streaming and YouTube? Do you learn from other gen mates, or do you learn from outside of HoloLive, or do you learn all on yourself? I'm curious where you kind of pick up this stuff.
A lot of times it's like a feeling that I get. Like
Right.
after
Yeah.
I'm done with a stream, I can feel whether it was bad or good.
Oh no, yeah, I agree. I agree.
I can
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
what I did wrong. This technically wasn't good. These people were angry about this, etc. And it's all in my mind, And I'm very receptive to criticism, but something that I also learned is that not every criticism that you get that is framed politely is necessarily correct.
True.
That's
Yeah.
a lie that we tell ourselves so that we don't come off as butthurt babies. But the truth of the matter is, you don't need to 100% take every single critique that you get from every anonymous person on the internet, even if it's framed nicely. You need to be able to discern what is actually going to help you and what isn't. But one thing that you shouldn't do is lash out. I would say that's
Oh, yeah, of
course.
that's
Yeah.
a given.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
never feed the trolls.
No, of course
It just never
not.
ends out well.
There are people that get excited when I talk about them and the bad things they say. And the thing that you do is you don't give it to them and you just
Yeah.
ignore.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's rule number one. Don't feed the
Don't
troll.
feed the
That
troll.
was another thing I had to learn as well along the way.
Do you get like when you started off? Did you get like a lot of advice from maybe your fellow gen mates or Cova itself about what to do in terms of like how to handle your content and just like general advice to be a content creator in general? Was it all just like trial by fire?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We really were just they just said go. And I think that part of that is because in the process of selecting us, they made sure that we would be okay with that. Because all of us that have like gone through it there hasn't been like a huge disaster or anything like that with us in
Yeah.
terms of streaming. Everyone has a good handle on themselves. And I think you gotta give it to I guess who chose us for that specifically, that they did choose people that have a handle on how to do things. However, that isn't to say that we were all experienced streamers in the beginning, because
Yeah.
that's definitely not the case. I had barely streamed in my entire life. I was mostly making music in the shadows.
Yeah.
Quite different.
Yeah.
Extremely different. But somehow they knew that I'd be able to handle it somehow. And you learn a lot of things along the way, but in the beginning, we all did have the ability to get through that starting line, but we didn't get a lot of advice. I will be honest about that.
I think one of the biggest things you have to learn, which a lot of people maybe might not consider, is the technical side of things. Because, like, with a YouTube video, if something technical happens on set or something, some things you could kind of save in post.
Yeah.
There is no getting around technical issues on stream. And I feel like the only way you really learn is when it happens on stream, and you're just like, well, I guess I just have to learn not to do that again, right?
Exactly.
Stuff breaks a lot as well. It's
Yeah.
normal, right? Yeah, damn. So you mainly did a lot of it on your own. You learned everything. Wow. So when you started off, there was nobody who was like, hey, by the way, people might just say like bad things about you for like no reason. That might just happen. Just like it's gonna happen. No one told you.
There was a question that I will say, because it's kind of obvious that they would ask us this.
Okay.
People are going to say mean things about you and hate you. Are you okay with that? And obviously,
gotta
if all
say
of us
yes.
got in, we all said yes. But I
Trick question.
I recall that my answer specifically was, well, I've dealt with that with my music before. Before all of this, I did indeed have people that would come around and do a little bit of trolling, so to speak. And I felt like I had dealt with them pretty well by just not saying anything. And I feel like I thought to myself, that should be fine when I enter Holo, and it's been fine. So that's okay for me. Everyone's experience though is different, I would say. So
yeah, I think as well there is the added very scary aspect of being again, this is just my perception of being a VTuber where everyone is just like trying to find out as much personal information about it as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone can just see that I'm a teenager now and
Yeah.
I feel like although people are definitely trying, people try and get our personal information, but I don't feel like it's intense. You know? Like at least I don't see it. Maybe I'm just too lazy. I'm not looking, but I don't,
you've already shown everything there is to offer.
Because like one thing I've always been curious about is like, do you feel pressure to have to keep like say a certain image of yourself for your audience or just the general perception of VTubers? Because we obviously keep a certain image, but I feel like it's nothing on the same level as what VTubers have to go through.
Right.
It's rough because I feel like one thing that I learned is at the end of the day, I've got maybe about 80% of a fan base that really, really want me to be 100% just myself. I see them in the comments all the time saying, "You're doing great, Callie, just, loosen up a little bit." In the beginning, right? For example, you guys saw when I first came here, I was trying to be something that I wasn't. Like,
I remember it was quite strange, but it turned out good. It was
good. It was a good episode.
All a part of my development. And
we literally saw the development on the 2-hour podcast.
Exactly. And so, for those people saying just be yourself, Callie, I gotta say thank you, because it was because of comments like that I realized, hey, maybe it's okay for me to loosen up a little bit, relax. People want to see who I am for who I am, and that's great. But of course, you're gonna get a small but loud minority of people that want you to be a certain way, and you just gotta deal with it. I personally have found, I think, like a happy medium where I'm still being myself, but I'm not, going into territory that would make others angry. Like viciously angry.
Of course.
Because I feel like when comments tell you to be yourself, it's kind of like a trap. Because like they want you to be yourself, but not a yourself that they don't like.
I'm just like the worst person.
Okay, you want me to be myself? I'm trash.
Go back.
I think when they say you should just be yourself, what they actually mean is be yourself, but the version that I like.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's exactly it. Yeah. But I try to look at it in like a positive light, and just do the best that I can to be the best me, and just stay positive. I've found that negativity tripped me up a lot in the beginning, and
it does.
I've been trying to smile through even the difficult times. I know it sounds cheesy, it's anime as hell. I get it, but it's the truth.
Smile through the tears. Just smile through the tears.
Smile through the ending song. It's all right.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like a positive outlook is good and necessary if you want to keep doing this for a long time. So I feel like things have gone pretty well, and all I can keep doing is being the best me, because at the end of the day, no matter what, someone's going to be angry at you for something. And if people are constantly going to be like, be this way, and constantly upset at the choices that you make, why not make the choice that you want to make and just deal with it from there?
It's nice because when we met you on the podcast, I didn't really know of your streams at all. I'd seen it a little bit, and definitely now, even throughout the year, when I check in, it seems like every single time I've watched your streams, you just seem more comfortable and more chill. And it's really cool to see.
I'm better at Doom Eternal now.
And you're better at Doom. Let's go. I think you got further than me in Jump King as well.
Oh yeah, I've been grinding on that Jump King struggle.
That is painful. Absolutely painful. Have you played Jump King?
No, I've been trying to get like a bunch of people to race it with me though, because I really want to play it. It's
Jump
like
King?
You don't want to know what Jump King is.
Yes, you do.
We should race it together on stream.
Well, I've only played like 2 hours of it, so I'm down to play.
No one's answered my question yet. I literally
You can't handle the truth.
I'm like, what is Jump King? Oh yeah. We should do it together. Oh, you've done it. Oh, you've done it. Yeah, I've done it as well.
Take a wild guess what you do in Jump King.
You're king, and you jump.
You jump up, Garnt.
Before I agree to this, I could be agreeing to like a fucking suicide pact for I know. Are we jumping off a cliff? Is that what Jump King is?
It's just code. It's code word. We're doing the Jump King.
Let's not explain what Jump King is to Garnt.
All right, next topic.
Honestly, like best way to experience it, in my opinion, just go in blind, because that's what happened to me.
What's the game with the pickaxe and the
Getting
over it? Yeah, imagine getting over it with jumping.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
Yeah. Have you played Getting Over It?
No.
Beneforti's getting over
know
it.
what getting
the guy,
over it is.
it's the naked guy in the pot.
He's in
You
a
have to like
pot.
use the pickaxe to get to the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah, I know that
Like
one.
imagine
Okay.
that, but jumping.
Imagine that, but jumping. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
you're a
like the art
king.
more.
Okay.
And you can just fall to
And
the
it's got
bottom.
really good pixel art as well.
Okay, the art is amazing,
Yeah, I
but
love
it
it.
is
It's
rage
doodle
inducing.
jump. It's basically doodle jump.
It's doodle jump,
But with the king.
with getting over it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
It
okay.
is rough. It is very difficult. But the way that I've gotten around it is I've started jumping into voice chat with a whole live
Is that
English.
a pun?
I just
That
got
wasn't
that.
a pun.
I
Okay.
just got that.
I
Yeah.
just want to know
Jumping.
if you
We're
did that
now
on purpose.
accepting new applicants for Trash Taste.
But I've been sitting in voice chat just waiting. I've just been waiting for other members to jump in and have a little chat with me. And the time flew by. I got into chat, and two of the other members, Iris and Bay, just jumped into voice chat. And we just talked about anime the whole time that I was suffering, trying to climb this building. And 8 hours just flew by. It was
Wow.
amazing.
Hell
so.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I
doing
mean,
that
I guess
recently.
without it, it's like you're basically in solitary confinement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds horrible.
It's a horrible.
That's why I want to race it, right? So I can distract myself by talking shit to other people.
So what is the
Yeah.
point of Jump King? Is there like an
There's a
end
super
Jump to
hot
the top.
babe
Jump to the
at
top.
To the top.
There's
Save
a
the
cute
princess.
lady.
Okay. Okay.
A
So
hot lady.
Yeah, a smoking hot babe.
Smoking
they
hot
call
babe.
it.
Smoking hot
That's
babe.
it.
thank you for explaining to me what Jump King is.
Yes.
I have a general idea now. I would like to try streaming that.
Okay.
Give it a shot. Let's see how far you
Don't
get.
don't get my hopes up like that.
I want to see all of you race in Jump King. Whoever
Yeah, we
gets to the
should.
top.
You can be the MC.
All right, gotcha. I'll narrate the whole.
Yeah, the
Wait,
comment-
so
commentate.
is it like Get
Speedwagon.
Over It where it's easy to reach, or where it's like really hard to reach the end in one playthrough?
Yeah,
or?
and it's really easy to just like
Fall to
drop
the
down
bottom.
and fall to the bottom.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could have been playing for like 5 hours and you've made it so many levels up, and then just one wrong fall leads to a chain of more wrong falls
Yeah.
that put you down at the very first stage.
And then you get tilted, and then you start just throwing.
you can't
Yeah.
remember how to jump in the certain places that you were jumping before.
You just run into a blind rage after a
cool.
while.
Love it. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
It's great fun.
It's
It's
really going to
so
test your
fun.
monk mode skills for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I
So
recommend
what's like your favorite type of content to make then? Is it playing games or is it like interacting with the chat?
Let's see. You know, interestingly enough, I felt like my interaction skills with chat were kind of non-existent in the beginning. To be completely honest, it's because I was a big old baby. Especially towards the beginning.
Big old baby.
Big old baby, especially
It must
playing
be
games.
terrifying, right?
Knowing
Yeah.
that I'm bad at video games, I was really kind of scared to check the chat because I didn't want to lose, energy and momentum by seeing someone say, "Hey, you suck." Because while I'm aware I'm not very good at video games, it's like seeing everyone telling you how to do a certain thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if I can hold back a reaction or a snarky remark, it does bring down the energy a bit, and I want to stay high energy. So it's something I had to learn to do to like really kind of put up a wall between people leaving funny comments or like just general feedback and people screaming at you in all caps that you should be using a pickaxe to break stones instead of a shovel, which is
That's
I will
true,
say
that's
that
true.
is a good piece of advice,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
That's a
as
good piece of
advice.
life advice. I think.
when it's not in all caps.
Same thing applies in
Over and
real
over
life, I think.
That is true. I'm more likely to listen to it if it's phrased not in all caps, though.
Yeah.
That's just a good idea for chat. I would say in general. I don't really actually care too much about backseating. It's when it gets to be everyone and super aggressive that my energy begins to fall. So I had to kind of learn to like, hey, Callie, get over it. Just try and like turn your vision into a way that it can just pick out comments in chat that aren't entirely aggressive, and you keep the stream going. And so I do like interacting with chat these days. Chat can be funny. They have some jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have jokes out there, I will say, and they really do kind of brighten up my day. So it's been worth it in the end. But I'd say my favorite kinds of streams to do, probably variety streams, though they do take the most preparation.
100%.
Recently, I've been trying to do Eikaiwa streams, so like English learning by speaking simple and slow English for anyone, really, not only Japanese viewers, but people around the world who maybe have English as a second language. That takes a lot of preparation.
When you said English learning, I was like, you learning English? I think you've already got that down.
Sounds like you're pretty good.
Guys, I'm going to do an English learning stream today.
Yeah.
English
gonna do
learning
my
stream.
best.
Next week we're going to
fair.
perform the poker rap.
Right.
To be fair, you should do a Duolingo English speed run. See how good you are at English. See if you can do it.
That's a
I
good
feel like I would be
idea.
way worse than I think I have any right
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
at English in Duolingo. I think.
I feel like, I don't know, that's an interesting stream actually. Seeing if you are as fluent in English as
You're
like
not.
something
We're
like
not.
Duolingo thinks you are.
Yeah.
What's the main language then that you have the application set on if you're learning English? Does it have to be? Can it be English again?
I guess so.
That's a good question.
I don't think Duolingo's ever thought about that before.
This is gonna sound so bad. So when I'm learning Japanese, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, it's like a pronoun, and I was like, yeah. For the first time I was like, what is that again? I was like,
what's a pronoun?
I was like, no, I know, but like, when you hear it, you're like, I haven't heard that. When you're like the different types of verbs and nouns, you're like, wait, hold on, let me refresh my memory of what that is again. Hold on, it's been like 5 years.
I'm trying to remember what a pronoun is.
We know when because they obviously think. When the Japanese teacher is teaching me Japanese, they're like, "Oh, you know this stuff. It's English. It's fluent. You speak it, right?" And it's like, "Yeah, I remember that stuff. I remember fluently."
I don't think that works when it comes to learning languages, though. To me, at least, when I hear something as a pronoun, I don't think I remember as we've just established, we don't know what the fucking pronoun is in our own language. How the fuck are we going to learn that in another language?
That's why it's so embarrassing when I'm there in front of the teacher who is Japanese, and she's like, "Oh, it's just like this thing," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I'm like, totally. I know what that is. Yeah. Okay.
I know what an adjective is.
I think adjective and noun and verbs are the ones that you should know, and then anything else, I'm like,
pronoun.
Yeah.
Proverb.
I know how to use.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I know that it exists, but if you
I know
ask
it
me right
exists
now,
as well. I don't know
this
what
is
it
bad,
is.
right?
Yeah.
I should know this. This is my language.
Tell me how to use a semicolon. I don't know if you just heard like the groan across the office that we just had.
I will use a semicolon. I don't think I'm remotely correct, but I will throw one in there just for good measure.
I kind of use it like using a comma and a full stop at the same time. Kind of sentence.
You actually know the way that I think I learned how to use a semicolon?
Yeah.
It's the Lonely Island song, Semicolon.
Yeah.
Great example.
Right, I remember that.
I was like, oh, that's the first time I've seen an explanation of semicolon.
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like with the era of like autocorrects and shit like that, we just pay way less attention to it. Like I've just started using apostrophes in places where apostrophes don't need to be used, but like it just looks right, and I know it's wrong sometimes.
Well, it's like with languages like Japanese sometimes that some of the younger generation don't know how to write the kanji because they're typing it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's like a thing.
Yeah.
Is that true, Joey?
Yes. Absolutely.
Especially in other countries with characters as well. That's like a big problem.
Yeah. Because when I was in school, I took like the kanji proficiency test. So obviously I was like just used to writing it all.
Yeah.
But once I got that degree, I was like, all right, cool. I'll never have to write this shit ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
And now when I look at it, or now when someone's like, how do you write this? I just kind of stop and I'm like, I should know this.
But you can read it, right? So
I can read it,
right?
but I can't write it.
Yeah.
And there's so many symbols like that.
Yeah, you've done language learning streams as well. Japanese as well, hasn't it? How's that been going?
I can't really do them as much anymore because of like certain permissions issues, but I'm thinking of getting back into it with just making a list of vocabulary beforehand and running through flashcards with chat, because I feel like that can be entertaining in its own way, I think. Somehow it always becomes a fun time. Even ideas that I think are going to be kind of boring, it ends up being fun.
You know what's amazed me about streaming? What? No matter what obscure thing I do, just one goddamn expert appears out of nowhere in the chat. One goddamn, I'll be doing like Sudoku, and the 2017 World Sudoku Champion will come in my chat and be like, hey, what are you doing? This technique's cringe. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what I do, somehow an expert comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What is this, like fucking Reddit?
It's insane. I'll be like doing like a water grading stream, and like the guy who designed water will appear in my chat.
Hi, I discovered water.
I discovered water.
It's insane. I don't know how this happens. No matter what I do.
Connor, when he sees a bidet stream.
Like the Toto CEO comes in my chat. And you're using it wrong.
Kind of in the same vein, sometimes there'll be like a movie or a song that I know for a fact only like 10,000 people have heard or listened to, and someone in chat knows about it. Oh, I remember that. Wait, do you? And they do.
It's like, I'm the producer.
I mean,
of course.
Well, like that very obscure childhood memory that you have of a game or a show, and then you describe it, and then chat's like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Of course I know what that is. And I'm like, what?
Wild.
How do you know
Always
that?
be wild
What's
for
wrong
me.
with you guys?
They just know it, man.
Chat is a curse, but also like an almighty being that just knows everything. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Or it's like a conglomerate,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's weird. Like seeing people refer to chat, it's like, yes, I don't know, it's such a weird concept to me because everyone in chat is an individual person, but then chat just becomes just melds into this one entity.
Entity,
Yeah. One all-knowing entity that is equally
all single brain cells joined together.
Omnipotent,
To
omnipresent
make
being.
one brain.
You get a 300 IQ.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. It's true.
It's like being part of HoloLive. Of course, you stream on YouTube, but what do you think about the whole Twitch streaming as well? Have you ever been interested in streaming on Twitch? And what kind of differences do you think that would make if you ever did?
It's pretty unexplored territory, to be honest, so I haven't really thought too much about it. I feel like, I have watched a couple streamers on Twitch, but for whatever reason, I just feel like I gravitate more towards YouTube. I know that they both have their pros and cons for sure, but I've gotten so comfortable on YouTube, and one thing that I really love about it, on YouTube especially, is that archives are kept forever.
Yeah.
So my streams
Yeah.
become videos that people can just watch whenever they want and
That's true.
check out the whole backlog. I really love that. But I do think that, for example, Twitch's sub feature is superior. That is certain. But I think they both have, their pros and cons. I just feel like at this point it's like a comfort thing. I'm just so used to YouTube now and the way that people, interact with each other in chat there. There's so many layers to it that I just kind of prefer.
Yeah, I find it really curious or really weird to see like both these platforms just having different cultures around them, and it's almost like a different etiquette. Where like when you're on a Twitch stream, just it feels completely different to watching a YouTube stream.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's just the community or if it's just like emotes or what it is, but yeah, both platforms to me feel oddly different whenever I'm watching a different creator stream on that platform.
There's like a culture to it for sure. I have noticed because I watch streamers who stream on both, and it is quite different, I gotta say. That's not me. That's not me being like. I'm not throwing any shade at Twitch. I'm just
Throw
saying
shade
that.
at that. Do it.
I mean, it's not.
They're
for
not
me.
paying you.
It's not for me. But I mean, at the same time, it's just what you prefer. At the end of the day, everyone's got their preference, and just choose what you like, and that's how it goes.
I don't think I'd have a difficult time streaming on YouTube now that I'm just so used to streaming on
you're
Twitch.
used to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
The
vice
vibe's
versa.
different
Right.
as well, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
The vibe
yeah.
definitely is
exactly.
totally different. People are way more joking on Twitch, I think. People are used to...
People are monkeys on Twitch.
we got a couple monkeys on YouTube as well,
that's true.
though. But it is a kind of different feeling for sure. At the end of the day, though, I will go to where the creator I like is. That is the truth for me personally. But that's not always the case for everyone. Everyone's kind of different.
Yeah.
Some people are lazy to like open another tab. I don't get it.
I get it. I mean,
Garnt is that guy. Garnt is that guy.
clicking a link to go on another platform. Get out of here. Get out. No, I mean,
Too much
like,
time.
My poor fingy can't handle it.
no, because like, I mean, there is just so many platforms nowadays and so many different apps and stuff that sometimes you just
I talked to my mum.
no, but I mean, some
Many apps these
I
days.
can't handle all the tabs.
no, sometimes you just build up a is schedule the right word? No, it's a pattern. You build up a pattern about what time you spend on each app, right? So like I've been watching a lot of YouTube shorts nowadays, even though I could go on and even though they're just recycled TikToks, right? But
Yeah.
it's just because I'm as a YouTuber, I'm just on YouTube more, that it's just more convenient for me. And so I don't like, if you watch a lot of Twitch streamers, then sure, it's easy to watch more Twitch streamers. But if you're not like integrated into that kind of ecosystem, it's like it's weird. It's because like it feels like you're going more out of your way just to view this one creator as opposed to just being on the platform naturally, you know. So I do think it is a factor that matters, which is why you see a lot of people who are just famous on one platform nowadays. You can have people who are famous on YouTube and just not have a presence anywhere else.
Right.
And you know, and I feel like the super successful content creators are people who can like break out of that just one platform and be able to like have a presence on multiple platforms.
Right.
I mean, I am a person who kind of feels like consistency is a big key, but some people are so big that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go, people will follow, kind of thing. But I do kind of see like the the merit in having all your stuff in one place. It's also just personally what I prefer because of how my brain works, you know? I like to have everything in one place because I'm already a really big scatterbrain in the first place. If I had stuff all over the place, I'd lose my mind. So I kind of have.
You're juggling enough things as it is, honestly.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. So
I'm just scared to have everything on one platform, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm that mentality of like, just don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of thing.
I do think that, however, music is like the one thing that is like easily able to hold its own.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
it's like, I mean, that's why every YouTuber on earth tries to become a pop star or rapper.
Because to varying levels of success.
Because that's where you know money is good, longevity is good. You can have time to work on it. Music is definitely
Also, doesn't matter how old you get, right? You can still keep making
you can
music.
as long as it sounds good.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube, you know, you turn 30. Oh, bye bye. Sorry, Garnt.
Yeah.
You're what? No, I was like, God, why was his reaction so silly? I mean, 30 years old, man. That's what happens, you know.
yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing already, man.
This man really just trying to age gate Garnt.
Become a
Go to
VTuber.
where do old people stream, Garnt? I'm joking.
I tried to say a platform. I was like, I probably shouldn't.
Justin.tv. That's where I did my first stream, actually.
We are joking. We are friends. We're allowed to make these jokes, all right?
It's like you have to clarify that you're bantering these days. Let's
Yeah,
calm
I know,
down a
right?
little bit,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, God.
Is it the same? Is it the same on Hollow Live with the friends? Is people
I
get
mean-
upset when you mock each other?
You know, I will say, we like to banter quite a bit. But we got to remind y'all again, and we really don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. We are all really good friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And so at the same time, you know, a lot of us have kind of, I mean, I know I certainly came up in friend groups where we would, you know, throw shit at each other. And it was all in good fun. We never really kind of step over the line. It's all stuff that we're comfortable with, and it's just good fun. No one hates anyone. Just, you know, sometimes you got to calm down, take a step back. We know each other pretty well, and it's just like that sometimes. We're having fun.
There's really just like some people though that just don't get that whole like bantering or like, you know, when is it over the line or like, you know, there are people who like overanalyze conversations on streams and YouTube videos where it's like, this is the frame. This is the very frame where their friendship started to crumble. Have you seen them streaming since then? Don't
so
think
dramatic.
so. Not friends anymore. It's like, no, dude. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like even more so with like the VTubing community because do you ever feel like a lot of people like really analyze what your behaviors are?
Yeah.
And like maybe a bit too much sometimes?
Yeah,
Or
I'd say so. I've seen several paragraphs analyzing my personality from my deepest insecurities to things that everyone already knows, etc. I've seen plenty of things like that. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen when so much of yourself is put out there. You know, that's just how it's going to be. But I will say, it is the truth. We really do only give a percentage of ourselves when we stream. Even though it may be so many hours in a day, there's still a whole side where we go off and live lives. I'm still, you know, occasionally reaping the occasional soul. Don't tell Death Sensei about that. But, you know, I'm doing other stuff as well. And it's important to remember that. It's important to, like, take a deep breath and realize that, you know, we've all got lives.
so where does music fit into your career? Like how do you find time for that? Where do you find time for that?
I mean, I think that the only thing I can say is it's the one thing that I love doing so completely and utterly that time just isn't a factor to me. Energy isn't a factor to me. All of that just disappears in me wanting to create music, and I don't compromise anything for it.
I believe
You
that's
know?
called a passion.
Yeah.
I
I think that is
like
the
a passion
word.
to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah.
passion to me.
So no matter what, I will find a way to fit it in, even if other things have to kind of, you know, take a back seat. Even things like streaming, etc., which will not make everyone happy, but you get over it. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get over it. At the end of the day, it's what I love.
Yeah,
It's I love
prioritize
to
what
do.
you want to do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
why else am I here? You know,
Just to suffer.
I wanted to
there's
say
no
that.
there's no other reason.
That's what I thought of.
We all thought it. We all thought it.
You can't not say that line and not make me think that.
Exactly. I mean, if that was the case, then I'd quit. And
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to stay here, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
This episode is sponsored by Zenmarket.
Gentlemen, you know what sometimes can be a little bit tricky?
What?
Buying items in Japan. But the sponsor of today's episode, Zenmarket, makes being an anime fan so much easier. Want to get your hands on some of that exclusive anime merchandise only available in Japan?
I do, Connor. In fact, I recently bought a JoJo stone mask that you see in the Part 1 anime.
Of
I bought
course I
it
do.
exclusively at the JoJo exhibit that is only held here in Japan.
And look at this Rui mousepad.
Did you bring that here?
I did. I have the Hina one at home, which is the better one. So if you want to get the Hina mousepad, then you can buy that from Zenmarket too.
For a flat fee of only 300 yen per item, Zenmarket gives you access to all the items we mentioned and so much more.
Even though we live in Japan, even for us, the language barrier can make things difficult. Joey, shut the fuck up. Well, fret no more, because Zenmarket's impeccable customer support team provides native customer support in over 14 languages.
And on top of that, they offer a wide range of payment options, including PayPal and even cryptocurrency.
We live in a society. So, no more waiting around for the day you'll finally be able to visit Japan. Go over to our very own Trash Taste landing page, linked in the description below, and check out some of the amazing Japanese exclusive merch Zenmarket ships directly to your doorstep. Back to the episode.
Do you find it hard to bring that energy to your stream, even though your schedule is obviously so busy? That there must be some streams where you're like, guys, I'm like, today I'm just done. Honestly, I can't do it today.
That's another thing that I have kind of had to start learning is management of energy, because even if you want to stream all the time, every day, to see chat, to make them happy, etc. At the end of the day, I only have so much energy, and chat's not going to have fun because they can tell when I'm low energy. Like I said, I've seen paragraphs analyzing every single facet of my personality. They can tell when you're low energy. That's the truth. So sometimes it's worth it to, give yourself a little more breathing room. Occasionally, though, I get a little ahead of myself. Schedule too many streams, it'd be like that. And it's taking quite a toll on my energy, and that after I'm done streaming, I just go lay down. And that's the only thing I do besides streaming and making music is sleeping. So it's something
How much sleep do you get per day?
6 hours a night, which is not terrible, but it's not perfect
I think
either.
you need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that a little bit, but there's just a lot to do, and there's a lot that you have to put your energy into. And when it comes to music, one thing that I've noticed is that it takes a little less energy for me simply because there's no pressure about making mistakes on stream. In your work process, nobody really sees all the awful mistakes that you make when you're recording 100 takes over and over again. You put it together, and the song that you've made is hopefully, if you've done it right, the best possible thing that you could have made it be, right? With streaming, it's just go. Be good at improv, be good at games, be good at something.
Be perfect for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And just pray. And that takes a lot of energy out of you. There's a lot of stress that comes with that, that maybe you can be really good at hiding. Maybe you're not so good at hiding it. It just depends, man. And it's rough. I
feel like you got to learn it along the way as well, because no one's ever prepared to be like, okay, I'm going to stream even though I'm low energy. And sometimes you have to just force it out of you, and it's so difficult, because that's why I don't stream so often as well, because I also have a certain amount of energy, and if it's below that, then it's just not going to be a good stream.
I think that a lot of the time, though, when you feel rough or you don't feel like you've got the energy for a stream, more often than not, when you actually start and get into it, you kind of get into the rhythm of it. And you kind of get a lot more energy as you go.
It also depends on what you're doing. There are some streams where you're just like, I'm having a good time playing this, or I'm having a good time doing this activity. And there are some streams where you're just like, this isn't an okay time, and I have to make it seem like it's a lot more fun than just an okay time. Right?
I mean, I do got to admit, I think I barely scraped by in terms of the personality you need to stream, because not everyone can stream. You have to have a certain kind of personality. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've seen a couple quote unquote reliable scientific research papers or whatever. Somebody said something on the internet and I took it as fact, but this is, I believe it.
There's some big quotations on that.
I can understand this being true, so I'm not saying this is a fact, but I don't think the human brain was meant to deal with 10,000 or so people watching you all at one time.
100%.
What you're doing.
100%.
Humans weren't built
100%.
to do that. We weren't built for it. Now, technically, I'm not a human, but listen, I have a human body. I have a human body, so we're going.
Throw out the research paper.
Exactly. But we really aren't meant to. So you have to have a certain kind of personality to not mentally collapse.
What is that personality? Is it just
You have to have a little bit of an ego. You have to have
Yeah.
just a smidge. It just needs to be a little bit. It needs to be enough, because not everyone can do it. That's just the truth. You have to have a certain kind of personality. You can't brute force it. And that's fine. That is absolutely okay. But it's just kind of how it is. You can build it up yourself, but it is a prerequisite.
Do you see yourself doing the streaming for a much longer time? Or do you think there's a certain amount of time where you're just like, yeah, I'm probably going to try something different after a certain amount of time?
Right, like a time limit on this. It does take more energy for me than some other folks, I think. And with that being said, I think that I'd like to try it out and continue on for a longer time. However, the frequency with which I do it may change at some point because
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be thoroughly impressed if you can keep this up for the next year.
Right.
No
have you
way.
heard about this thing? It's called weekends. It's where most people like holidays as well.
The fabled holiday. I've heard of that before. Yeah, but in a sense, these days I kind of find myself sitting down after a stream being like, all right, break time, watch something on Netflix. And I think to myself, I want to do something work-related. And that's when you know you've become a workaholic and
You've
to
got
do
the
that.
illness.
So
Yeah.
it's good, but I often found the struggle where I would sometimes invest too heavily in work, and then I would think, oh, I just haven't hung out with anyone in a long time, and I feel kind of lonely. But then I've spent too much time working and I can't hang out with people because they're hanging out with people who are more consistent than hanging out, which is totally fair, right?
What do you mean?
Well, because if you're often not available, people don't invite you to things, right? So if everyone knows that you're not going to turn up to stuff most of the time, people stop inviting you.
They give up.
So you kind of have to balance very carefully and like going to stuff, but also wanting to be there for work. Because I also feel the same way with streaming, where I'm like, oh, I'm not there enough. I'm not participating in the ecosystem enough, you know? So it's a struggle. Do you ever have that problem?
All the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, recently I've been trying to fix that by instead reaching out to people that I haven't talked to and being like, hey, I'm here.
That's my workaround. It's like because like people have, if I get to the point where people stop inviting me because I get too busy,
Yeah.
get your brain. I stop.
Yeah, I do. I have to
I'll make my own
I'll
events.
make my own events.
I'll be like, I don't. And now I'm like, all I want to do is work, but I'll schedule something in like 2 weeks because I'm like, it's not right now. It's not right now. It's not work right now.
Yeah.
Then it comes around. I'm like, fuck, I want to work, but I'm like, I'm glad I scheduled that because now I can actually force myself to go and have a good time and not think about doing work.
I feel like moving has helped you as well because I remember before you never invite people to your place at all because
It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, PewDiePie roasted me. It was terrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
And it
but
was also
now
too
you're in
far.
a more central place, so it's easier to just like invite people and sort out your own
because
things.
you know when I lived like an hour away, like a minimum of an hour journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
An hour is a long time to lose in a day when I try and make every goddamn hour count.
Yeah.
So when 2 hours goes there and back, right? You know, now it's a lot quicker for me, which is great for most places. But yeah, I would spend so much time traveling, and I'm not the kind of person who can work on a train. I don't know about you.
Well,
you can.
definitely
I can.
not Tokyo trains.
Yeah, you
You
know,
know.
if I'm standing, there's absolutely no way I can do any work. And
Yeah.
there's sometimes,
I figured out a way.
do you get this thing though? Sometimes,
How? What work do you do on a train?
Well, I can answer emails. I can work on scripts because you can do it all on
Okay.
your phone.
Fuck off! Can you work on scripts on the train, Joey?
I do that.
So,
I do that.
do you ever have, right? I don't know if this is another thing or this is just a me thing, right? I have these things, right? It's an email, but it's an email that I need to sit down and look at.
Yeah.
Like it's a focus email.
Yeah.
I can't do it when I'm standing. I got to sit down and be like,
100%.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
don't? I'm envious of you.
I have that. Like I can't answer important emails on my phone. I need to like sit down on a laptop or a computer
It
or
feels
something.
so much nicer on a computer. I have the big screen so I can think about my words on a bigger resolution. I don't know
Yeah.
why that matters.
Do you activate different neurons
I
when you
think
sit
so.
down? Like,
Kelly, back me up here. Do you do
I
this?
mean, I agree actually entirely, especially when it
Hell
comes to
yeah.
music. Though sometimes I'll be like on a plane, on a train, I get my phone out, I'm like, I'm ready to work. And I'm like, nope, time for a nap. And I just put my phone
People
away.
who
I'll
work
get
on
home.
planes are like, just like what happened in their
I
childhood?
know I can work. I can work on planes.
What happened in your childhood?
I can work on
That's
planes.
fucked up.
Working on a plane is different than working on a train. Okay, with
No, man.
with a train,
yeah.
You're like this in the fucking cabin. There's people next to you. Like they bring the food over. You're like, oh shit, the fuck.
because on a plane you are
I do it on my phone.
no, you don't work on your phone, Joey. You need a fucking laptop or at least a tablet, a phone.
You can't
That's
work
pretty
on a
rough.
plane, right?
No, I mean, what
God.
happens is I think I'm going to, so I bring
3
my
levels of
laptop.
Yeah, I do
psychopaths.
that.
I bring it in the carry-on and I put it on the table and I'm ready to work, and then suddenly someone comes with a glass of Chardonnay and they're like, here you go. I'm like, all right, well, I got to find a freaking place for this. Then I turn on the thing and I'm looking at the map and I'm like, I wonder what movies they have.
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm looking at the movies. Holy shit, they have this one I wanted to watch.
If I was in like first class of business, I had the whole fucking thing set up. Yeah, okay, maybe we can talk about working. When I'm in economy, I'm just depressed. I don't want to think about work. I want to watch whatever Jason Statham movie is on this plane.
Look, I'm depressed because there's no good movies on. It's always shit movies, which I hate.
Movies.
It's plain movies. So if I'm going to be in a bad mood, I might as well be in a bad mood and do some work. That's
exactly why I hate watching movies on a plane, because for one, they're all movies I don't want to watch. So I'm like, well, what is there to do? I'm not just gonna fucking blankly stare out the window for 7 hours.
Take a nap.
I don't know. Yeah, I just like.
Nap.
No, okay. When I say I
sleep,
when I say I work on a plane, I'm not working the whole fucking trip.
Jerry's like making calls. Sell my stock, god damn it!
Haven't seen my kids in 3 days. Okay, if I'm flying from Tokyo to LA, right? It's 10, 11 hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably working max 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, same.
The rest of the time I'm reading a book or taking a nap or watching a movie, God forbid.
Yeah.
Doing something else basically. I'm not that much of a fucking machine where I'm 11 hours on this flight. All right, 11 full hours of work.
Mudan is the only guy.
Yeah, Mudan's
the final stage.
He brings his desktop on the plane.
No,
That is powerful.
No, Mudan's the type of guy who's oh, you need a video edited? Let me whip out my phone real quick.
Oh my god, he's done that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Powerful.
Has he actually?
He's used the remote control on his phone to edit on his PC.
Yeah, it's just like a virtual.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah,
this is it. This is when you reach your final form.
Yeah.
This is the final evolution of humans. No, but how do you script on your phone? Especially if you're standing up, right, in a crowded train. It's impossible for me to get the right mindset. Let alone I can't get a single thought together.
So if I'm in a crowded train, I'm not writing script. I'm doing the research for the script. Because it's easy enough to just, because you're already on your phone on a crowded train, right? Looking at Twitter or whatever. So what's the difference between looking at Twitter and looking at a web page or an anime news site or something?
Philip DeFranco. I'm just
or a YouTube video, right? It's the same motion, but I'm not there fucking typing it out on a crowded train. Obviously not. If I'm sitting down on a train, sure I can fucking whip it out and start typing some shit in, but I don't know.
I wish I had that power, man.
I mean, if you did that, you'd probably be able to upload every week.
Maybe that's what's missing.
I don't think it's that. It's much as he wishes.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, do you find you have to be in a certain environment when you write your music? Or is it just whenever inspiration hits?
That's a good question. To be completely honest, I can't force it. I just can't. Sometimes I'm in the mood to write this song. Sometimes I'm not. And if I force it, then the lyrics are going to turn out real bad. So I just have to be really mindful of when I'm feeling that inspiration, though. It does get a bit stronger as the deadline creeps up. It's not procrastination, I promise. It's just...
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say, yeah.
I feel though making music is a completely different part of your brain that doesn't overlap with any other type of activity.
Definitely.
Yeah. I couldn't write music on a plane or anywhere that's not my room, even when I'm in my room, I need to be, as Callie said, I need to be in a specific mood.
That's me in scripting. I need to be in a specific mood. I can do admin stuff on my phone and shit like that, but scripting's sacred.
Well, that's probably why your scripting is way better than mine.
It sounds like you have that with everything though, Garnt. Sounds like you have to be in the mood to shit as well.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in the mood to shit.
This man, everything needs to be in a monk-like Zen mode to get anything done. Garnt, can you order some food now? It's not the time.
I need to be in the right mindset to open up Uber Eats.
I just get distracted too easily. You
do. Genius takes a while. Yeah, if you actually open the fucking app.
Yeah.
That's why I need the certain apps that I'm comfortable with. I want to stay on those apps. Don't give me anything new. TikTok scares me, okay? Yes, I'm a boomer, okay? Say it. No,
it's okay, Garnt. You're gonna age way better than me. It's fine. I'm just jealous, secretly.
He has the upper hand now.
How does it feel looking at Chris and being I'm going to be that in 5-10 years?
That's brutal to Chris.
We all know it's true, though. Come on, we all know it's true.
Chris looks good. Chris looks great. Yeah, I'll be bald at Chris's age. Oh my god. Sad but true. Prayer for me. Oh my god. What's your favorite live streaming meme or words that they use? Because live stream has its own lingo.
That's right. Let me think.
I don't think I've ever seen Callie throw out the Keck W or
I can't.
Pog or anything.
You don't Keck W? You don't Sanj?
Yeah, that's because she's not on Twitch. That's
I
YouTube.
can't
They
do
still do on
it.
YouTube.
I'm
Yeah,
That's
still
a
on
Twitch
YouTube,
thing,
though.
though.
I wish I had it.
Are you able to say the word pog or kekw without?
No, I can't. It's too much for me.
You can't give out like a Monka S every now and then.
I know I'm pretty cringe here and there, but that's just it's a little too much. I think
Yeah.
I might collapse into myself like a black hole, and I can't do it, man.
What's
Pepe
your
hands.
go-to? Oh, Pepe
Oh!
hands.
So that's all you're gonna get from me because somebody's been sending me Pepe hands
Classic.
supers recently, and yeah, it stays in my mind.
Is there a meme you like to see, Popper?
Let's see. Let me think.
think I asked this
I have
last
to
time,
think
it's
really
alright.
careful about how I answer this one because
Every
there's a hot
conversational
debate.
question you ask is meme related.
I do want to
my
know
chat
what,
right
what
now.
people's tastes in memes are, so we can kind of gauge their level of internet
We don't do a lot
prowess.
of memes in my chat. I feel like there's
VTubers versus Twitch streamers, right?
yeah, it's hard because I feel like it depends on the chat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not like, for example, it's not that everyone in Holo EN's chats are like averse to memes. No, it's just the crowd that I've attracted. I think isn't super hardcore on them. We still have a few.
Sometimes I'll go to a VTuber stream and I'll watch it. And I'll just like not understand it, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, they said banana! It's the thing! It's the in joke!" And I'm like, "What? What's
There
going
are
on?"
a lot of
I feel that
From that
applies to
one
like
time-
every YouTuber.
No, it doesn't. I don't. Not with Twitch at least. I feel like I haven't seen that.
I feel that applies to me in Twitch, honestly.
Oh,
What?
No,
Some the in jokes.
yeah, the in jokes on
Yeah.
Twitch, but just because I don't spend enough time watching Twitch streams.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my
I feel
ass.
like on
I could be
Twitch,
talking out my ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that with Twitch, it's like multiple layers. It's like
Yeah.
it starts off with a Twitch reference
Yeah.
that is specific to Twitch, and then that evolves into an in joke. So it's like multiple layers that you have to understand. Whereas on YouTube, there isn't really like specific lingo, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, no, with HoloLive, it's I think all the memes that come from the subreddit, I assume, right?
Yeah.
That's right. There are a lot of things popping off there. I think for sure. But
I mean, it's the same with Trash Taste, right? Like a lot of the memes come from the subreddit.
That's true. That is
They
true.
come from somewhere. That's for sure. But I mean,
That's what we need Reddit for. Just the memes.
Yeah. To
And,
keep up to date.
Yeah, just keep up to date with all the memes, right?
I mean, I guess occasionally when it's just little things. It's not necessarily just words being spammed in chat, but rather things that I do or make a habit of. For example, my intro and outro. A lot of times when I start the stream, I'll turn up the reverb and the echo, and I'll just say, "Gah!" And then everyone in the chat just says "gah," or they use the "gah" emote. That's about it. Hi, Callie, how are you? Hey, that's it. That's about it. And then at the end, everyone says peace. Turn up the reverb, turn up the echo, peace, and everyone spams peace in the chat, But it's not just like word after word that's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of, emotes. Of course, you pull out the glow sticks and the music emote for the for the live shows,
Yeah,
but
of
that's
course.
about the extent of where it goes to, I think. Now, for others in EN, I can see it being kind of different. They've all got their own personal like inside jokes and words people like to say in chat, but people get frustrated about that sometimes because not everybody's a big fan of the same memes being used
Yeah.
over and over again in
Yeah.
chat. There's a lot of fighting.
Yeah, and it also makes it difficult sometimes for newer people to come in if it's just all in jokes, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
important to maintain the balance of, hey, chat, shut the fuck up.
Because you also don't want to be that guy that's like, what does this mean, chat?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, there's that pressure as well. So
Yeah, exactly. I guess the closest thing we ever got was, you guys know Adam Sandler?
Yeah, of course.
Anyway,
Is that
Just
like
the
a,
way you said
is
that.
is that like an underground?
Yeah.
actor? Is that
This,
what
this,
it-
this underground new
you said that as if it
YouTuber.
was like an avant-garde like
Yeah.
musical artist that we'd never heard
It's
of.
like me go. Do you guys know this guy called Nicolas Cage?
Do you know Barack Obama?
I don't know how relevant
so-
Adam is these days.
So where
but-
is this going? Adam Sandler?
I mean, he just has become like a prominent figure in like the lore. Same with
What?
Shrek. It's just it's stuff
When
like that.
isn't-
See,
when
and
isn't
here's
Adam
where like
Sandler?
new people getting into the stream would maybe get confused.
So how is Adam Sandler playing a part?
He's just always kind of been there, like his spirit. It's like hard to explain.
You know
A
he's still
long time
alive,
ago,
right?
there was an event.
he's still doing well.
A long time ago, there was an event where
Okay.
that we canonically we erased it from our brains, and I've been having trouble remembering it.
Right.
And
Like
there was
Click.
the existence of an emote. I believe. I can't remember what it looks like, and I don't remember what we called it, but I know old Adam was involved, and we banished it. From the chat, we had like a burning ceremony and everything.
What?
After watching
Is this
Adam's
like
movies.
your Mandela effect in motion or something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
What? How
we get a little crazy sometimes.
So I understand.
I'm missing so many parts of the context of this story.
We've jumped right to the exile of Adam Sandler. How did we get to the exile? How did it even begin?
I mean, I was just kind of like, listen, when I was a young baby reaper, Mama Mori often put old Adam on the screen when she went off to work, and I'd watch old Adam. Back then, just me and
Just
my
me and
Sandler
Adam.
movies.
Just me and Adam.
And of
What
course,
is your-
it came up again in chat. People were like, "Oh, well, what movies do you like?" And I was like, "Have you guys seen a Happy Gilmore?" And they're like,
I love Happy
Sandler.
Gilmore. It's
Happy
great.
Gilmore's
It is,
great.
and actually, I do think that's a
What
good
are
movie.
your favorite Adam Sandler movies?
Mr. Deeds.
I love Mr. Deeds.
I've not
Such a
seen
good
that one.
That's a good
I
movie.
recommend
My
it.
favorite scene is when he's like hitting his foot.
Yeah, and his foot's like black from
Yeah.
the frostbite. Yeah, that's right. I learned my first curse words from that movie.
I don't remember that scene.
Oh,
I've seen the
God.
movie. I don't
Hashtag
remember the scene.
relay. I've seen, I think, 50 First Dates.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that
like
one's not
actually
bad.
like a good one.
I think that's a good one. And
I think Click's my favorite.
Click's a pretty good
Click's
one
good.
too. I
Click's
like
Anger
that.
Management. Oh, Sydney showed me Wedding Singer the other day
Wedding
because I was
Singer's good
talking
too.
about Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
What were you talking about, Adam Sandler?
I can't remember.
why does Adam just
Shit,
creep
why
into
was I
everyone's-
talking about Adam Sandler?
Adam just creeps into everyone's
Sydney,
subconscious.
why was I talking about Adam Sandler again? All right, she's in another room right now.
I mean, what was I gonna say? Good old Adam. He's become like a presence, and it's hard to explain why, but he just creeped in. Have you guys seen Uncut Gems?
It's amazing.
I haven't.
That was
I've been
such a
trying to
good
get these
movie.
guys to watch it. It's such a good movie.
I remember you talking about it.
He's so good. It's like he's actually acting. For
My-
once.
my-
like
my-
he's actually trying.
Exactly.
My movie list is like my to watch anime to watch list, which is like, yeah, I'll watch it someday,
Yeah.
and then
They're all
I just-
movies I've heard of, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
What gets me now is like sometimes memes just get me like the urge to watch certain movies now. Like Megamind memes have been like coming up more recently, and I'm just like, I should
you
watch
watched that movie?
I have not
It's
watched
really
Megamind.
good. It's
I've heard
actually
it's
really
really good.
good.
I've heard it's like
It's
really ahead of its
actually
time.
good,
Yeah. And just seeing the memes, I saw the memes and I'm just like, let me watch a few clips. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should like sit down and watch this. Maybe I'll do that tonight, actually. Now that I'm thinking about
Watch
it.
Megamind.
I'll watch Megamind
Or do you
tonight.
also have to be in the right mindset to watch that?
It's literally Megamind, Garnt. It's a kids movie. You don't have to be in a mindset.
Is it Pixar? It's not
no,
Pixar.
no.
It's
Is it not
DreamWorks,
Pixar?
right?
Oh, it's DreamWorks.
It's DreamWorks.
Never mind.
I have to be in certain moods to watch entertainment. Okay.
God.
I can
Okay.
understand that too.
I'm a very picky
But Adam
person.
Sandler and like DreamWorks and that kind of stuff, that's supposed to be the type of genre that does so well because you can watch it anytime.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, but like sometimes, when you watch like a show or something that people have been talking about, and you just watch it.
Megamind
just,
is not
just to
a
keep up
critical
with like.
acclaim masterpiece. You don't need to pay attention. You just watch it, Garnt.
Well, I want to pay attention to the shit I watch, Connor. I want to pay attention to it.
There is a genre of entertainment that does very well because you don't need to pay attention
It's
to
the
it.
brain dead
Turn on the
entertainment.
brain dead.
Yeah.
I even in the brain dead stuff, I like to pay attention just because.
Use it when you're making thumbnails.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like
On the
that. Stuff that
background.
you can do.
I thought that was
other
what
stuff.
YouTube videos for. I thought that was what Trash Taste was for. That's the brain dead content, right?
It's hard to do when you're
Sell
watching
ourselves
subs,
thin.
though. If you've got subtitles, though, it's kind of a little harder.
The Trash
Yeah,
Taste,
yeah,
YouTube's
exactly.
most brain dead podcast.
Because like sometimes you put on a YouTube video, right? Sometimes you put it on like the second monitor, and then it starts, and you're like, oh, this is some main monitor shit. Oh, okay, and you're like, you have to like swap it over to the main monitor, and you're like, oh, okay, this is that's how you know it's top tier content.
Yeah.
When it's not on your
Yeah.
second monitor, it's on your main monitor,
Yeah,
man.
I get that.
And that to me is just like every movie. I can't have a movie on in the background, right?
No, I can't do that either.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I know you can.
Can you do that?
It's tough these days because I actually don't really consume a lot of media, sadly enough.
Because you're streaming 9 hours a day, every day.
That,
Yeah,
and I
times a
have
week.
an issue where if I really get into a series, I have to finish it in one go.
Oh, God.
Like recently,
Deadly.
I was
Yeah.
reading a manga that I got into the other night. It's been out for a long time.
I thought you said Among Us.
No, Among Us. Please no. I can't with the
only
Among
one.
Us.
I looked at Garnt and we just made eye contact. We're like, Among Us? Among Us.
No, that game has infiltrated everyone's brains. I
Never
swear.
heard anyone pronounce it Among Us.
Among Us. Did I really say it like
You
that?
said it like that.
Oh, God, I can't believe it. I'll never forgive
my
myself.
I just love how we all like all three of us just perked up and just looked at each other. It's like Among Us.
Which manga?
Sorry,
have you been
we
reading?
completely.
No, it's okay.
completely
It's actually it's not a super new one. It's called, what was it? I believe in Japanese, Imawa no Kuni no Arisu, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
Alice
Alice
in
in
Borderland.
Borderland.
Yeah. I read
Oh,
the
the
whole
Netflix
manga.
show.
Yeah.
I watched
yeah.
the Netflix show. I watched all of it, and I was like, this is pretty good. And so I just had to figure out what the ending was. And so I read the whole manga from start to finish in one day, and I was like, I could have done a lot of other stuff, but I had to keep reading it.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I thought the ending was okay. It was fine. But I thought like the writing and like the emotional like writing it gets a little much sometimes. It's like a little edgy, but overall I thought it was very well done. So I recommend it.
I think that's just like most survival horror mangas.
True.
It's just like a little touch of too edgy.
Yeah.
By the way, this is not because of Squid Game that I've been getting into like kaiji and stuff like that. I liked kaiji and
You liked kaiji before it was cool.
Yeah, I love
Before it was cool.
Maybe that
kaiji.
person was- but like I've been into like death game stuff like before Squid Game popped
Well,
up.
it's your job,
just-
right? So
Yeah,
surely you have
Exactly.
some-
I have to do my research.
It's a form of inspiration.
Damn, those
I
guys
have
are
to do
good.
my
Like,
research.
oh shit, why didn't I think of that? Fuck.
But,
Yeah, I don't know. To me, not Squid Game, just death game manga and anime are definitely like some of my guilty pleasures.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are some, like, I think in terms of like the tier of like well-written death games, I think Squid Game is like on the side of the better written ones, even though it is a bit edgy sometimes. But sometimes you just like read something that is just pure edge, and it just for some reason it's just I don't know, man.
I can
It's
name
like junk
about-
food for me.
Yeah, I can name about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of them do feel quite samey after a while, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, okay.
you start to be able to predict things, the way the
Yeah,
games are going to go.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Because they're all influenced by each other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like there's only so much you can do until someone is like, no, let me try something else.
Yeah.
Have you watched Squid Game then? Yeah.
I did. I watched it again all in one night because I couldn't
too.
take a
Yeah,
break.
Me too.
Yeah, and I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very solid show, and I liked it a lot. Of course, there are things that I wasn't super into, but overall, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the perfect show, but
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Reaper approves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about the whole Squid Game like getting mainstream stuff now is I've seen so many debates about the subs versus dub in the
Oh,
mainstream
yeah.
now.
How is that a
and it's so surreal, right?
Well, I mean, some of the dubbing in Squid Game was.
I keep getting recommending clips of some of the dub clips in Squid Game, and
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
like,
so good.
how are people watching this right
don't
now?
get
Because
it.
I think I can't remember. I think I saw it on like Philip DeFranco where there was a metric of how many people watched it dubbed. I think it was like 60 or like
What?
69%
How?
people.
Wait, more people watch the dubs?
Because people just on Netflix, people just when you do it, if you've got your language setting to English, it's just automatically in English.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't want to then flip to.
I think as well for
subtitles.
some countries, like the original Korean like voices just weren't available.
What?
Yeah, because like I remember my sister was telling me in Australia there was no option other than the English dub.
What?
Like you have to watch it in the English dub, and she's like, "What the fuck? I don't want to watch it in the English
That's
dub."
horrifying.
But yeah, so I think it also depends on the country as
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
which is a bit weird.
It's interesting because I've watched Netflix shows with the dub when they aren't originally, like when it's a different language other than English. I've watched English dubs on Netflix that I didn't think were terrible, but that was something special. Yeesh, man.
Like half the actors are speaking in a different like type of English.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think half the voice actors are Americans, and then the other half are like British.
The old woman just doesn't sound like an old woman. You know, that should be like the first thing that you try and do to like at least give a little bit of effort to not sound like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, from the clips I've seen, it definitely gives you the impression that none of the dub voice actors knew how big this was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
think anyone involved.
And I don't think even Netflix knew how big this was going to be.
way.
And you can definitely see it.
Parent.
Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're in the anime community, but for me, especially when it comes to live action, I can't imagine watching live action in anything but the original language.
It's
with
so much more
subtitles.
jarring.
It's
so
so
much more
jarring.
Although it is also a guilty pleasure of mine, like every now and then I watch like a live action Hollywood film with the Japanese dub. It's
Oh my!
it's
Why,
so,
Joey?
it's
Why?
so funny.
It is
sounds
funny.
surreal.
It is
So-
funny.
and even when they get like top voice actors in like the anime sphere to like voice over like Vin Diesel in fucking Fast and Furious, I'm just like, it's so weird. It's so weird to hear a different voice that's not Vin Diesel's come out
Yeah.
of Vin Diesel's
That's
mouth.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's very
Piqued
funny.
my curiosity.
I mean, luckily,
Yeah,
when
you should.
go-
It's really funny.
I mean, luckily in Japan, normally all the movies are in subbed in the cinema.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Nice.
because I can watch them.
It's all the ones that make it the DVD that are dubbed.
Yeah, DVD, they have an option. Right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you, Japan and cinemas. I can actually enjoy going to the cinema.
It is weird watching like Japanese dubs of like Western cartoons though. That is weird. Like
Oh, like Simpsons.
yeah, Simpsons. Like hearing is it Japanese Rick and Morty as well.
Oh,
That was
Japanese
so
Rick and
surreal.
Morty.
But
It's so weird.
that's when I can like kind of get behind it because it actually suits it a lot in a lot of the scenes. Like they like whoever voices Rick fucking blew it out of the park.
Did a great
yeah,
job,
did a
I
great
agree.
fucking
I
job.
want to go listen to this now.
It's not bad. I was
Okay,
like, wow.
sure.
right?
Okay.
This is like the being on the other side of things, where it's like, oh, not all dubs are bad, even if it's like originally in English for
well,
once.
Trash Taste is better in Russian. Everyone knows that.
Of course.
Yeah, Connor in Russian Trash Taste
I
sounds
sound
like
amazing.
he sounds like he wrestles bears for a living. Like-
I really am envious of that man.
so have you had like time to watch anything else in your schedule, or is it just like
Just random stuff.
just random stuff?
Recently I got really into like it's a super obscure like Yakuza film series called
okay.
I know what it's called in English, Battles Without Honor and or Humanity. I need to figure out what the name
That
is.
sounds like a Yakuza film.
That is the most Google translated title I've ever heard.
I need to find out the name of it. I wish I could look it up.
So what's the plot of these movies?
It's a really long plot.
Okay.
It's just about this one guy and his entire experience from start to finish, entering the Yakuza family, and it's just I can't explain why I like it. It's just kind of cool, and like a lot of the sound clips are just really iconic. The music is really iconic. You'll hear it sampled a lot in Japanese rap. It's just really neat, and there's a lot of blood. It was one of the like most prominent, I think, Yakuza films made in Japan. There's 5 of them. I haven't watched the last one, but I've been slowly working through them. I found them on Amazon with English subtitles. There was only 1 copy in the world, and I got it.
Oh wow! So it wasn't even streamed; it was like physical media.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's
Yep.
how you know. That's how you know it's like underground.
OG.
Yeah, I was recommended.
How did you
it.
find it then?
I was recommended it by a friend who really likes Japanese movies, and I was like, I should check it out. And I really like it.
When was the last time you bought physical media? I'm just
Mother,
trying to.
mother knows breast.
Oh yeah, yours is easy.
like bought it to watch it. I'd
Yeah.
say.
I watched
Like,
it.
You've watched. You've actually put it in.
you put it in.
I don't,
put
have,
it
I
in?
don't have a
It's like-
DVD player.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, that's what
thought.
I'm saying.
Do you have a DVD player?
No, but PlayStation works just
Oh.
fine. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time
Blu-ray.
I brought like a DVD or a Blu-ray that I actually watched.
Yeah, right.
I've even bought like anime Blu-rays and DVDs, but just like that's just so I can own them physically.
collect them.
Even if
Yeah.
I bought it, I'm putting that shit in. You know how annoying it is getting up, bending down, putting it in. Fuck, dude, man. Just,
lot of-
I can just
it's a lot of
Chromecast
work.
this stuff.
My
you
poor
know?
knees.
Yeah.
I'm an old man now, you know. Sorry, I'm a child now. But I was an old man one time, and that was very difficult to.
You are an old man stuck in a child's body.
I am. I don't. I just want to do everything digitally. It's so much easier.
Oh
I
yeah.
prefer to.
I mean that's why it's become.
That's why you-
slowly dying medium. Right?
Yeah, that's why you like. I mean, forget DVDs. You don't watch anything that's not on Netflix nowadays.
You know what sucks is that everything good is on like Hulu and HBO, and I'm like, we don't have that shit. How do we? It's so unfair. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Please help me. I want HBO. Everything seems to be on HBO.
Oh, I mean, a lot of the good shows. I say like a lot of the critically acclaimed shows seem to be on HBO.
Yeah,
but,
and you can't get it outside of America.
Is this where
You
you,
can-
slip in
you-
a sponsorship, perhaps?
I actually, funny thing, like
certain
a lot of
VPN.
HBO shows and a lot of TV shows are available on YouTube to buy.
Oh.
Well, I've noticed like
I was
because
like, oh.
yeah, because I've watched Chernobyl and I watched that on YouTube.
Oh, I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime here.
Yeah, I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, but that's probably like the last amazing live action TV show that I've like properly got into.
Yeah, I love that. That's
Yeah,
so good.
fucking amazing.
You guys just realize sometimes how things have developed with like anime and Japanese culture in general? Because I remember a time when I was younger and I had to beg Mama Mori to drive me 40 minutes to the only small anime store in our state.
I mean, the fact that you even had an anime store.
Yeah.
Your privilege is showing.
listen, man. Pocky was $6, and I remember saving up all what little allowance I could scrape.
Pocky, oh my god!
It was like,
$6.
I think
You pay that with a ramen.
Yeah, with a ramen.
Yeah, I don't know
$6.
I don't know about Garnt, but like I came into anime just as it was kind of becoming more globalized and the internet was kind of kicking into full force. And yeah, even back then it was like you couldn't get anything, like nothing.
Yeah,
You didn't live through the dark ages.
No, all I could get was like the worst I had to deal with was like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Espanol Part 1. That was like that was like the worst I had to deal with, but I could still get it. Like I could get it.
No, I mean, we could also get it as well. It just was a lot harder to find. You know, it's we had to put more work into it other than just streaming. I feel like streaming made anime just like kind of like it made anime fucking way more accessible, because even back in my day, I still bought DVDs whenever I could, right? But then once streaming became a thing, I just stopped buying DVDs at all. And it is certainly weird to see anime become way more fucking popular nowadays, even though none of us watch it anymore. Right, Joey?
Hell yeah. You got that right. The more popular anime has become, the less I've watched. It's a weird, like, symbiotic
Do you watch as
relationship.
much anime now, Callie?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like all the anime I'm really interested in is older stuff that I get recommended. For example, Kaiji and Baki I've been really into.
Baki?
You're into Baki? Fuck
Hell yeah!
Let's
go!
It's my
Hell
guilty
yeah.
pleasure. I just,
Hell yeah.
man.
Are you caught up on the anime?
No, I've been that is the only one that I've been slowly watching because I don't want it to end.
It's
So I've
so
been like
good.
day by day watching an episode. Nice. and
It's so
slow.
good. I love Baki.
I still need
so
to
much.
watch the anime.
What part do you want, if I'm allowed to ask?
Let's see. What part did we stop off at? Let me think. Because I've been watching it with a friend who is also a big fan.
Oh, okay.
And we've been watching like at the same time, like overseas, completely separated from each other.
Oh, nice.
Let me see. Which part were we at?
What was the last thing that happened?
Yeah, it was the most iconic thing that happened.
What do you mean? Every episode is iconic.
I think Baki officially challenged his father. I think was the last thing that happened that I saw. I'm like trying to
Doesn't
not.
that happen like 10 times?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first time.
Do you realize how little that
season.
narrows it down?
In the new season.
Okay.
Oh, season 3?
I have to admit.
Oh,
When I
okay. So
started,
you're pretty far then.
yeah, when I started watching Baki, I actually didn't. I challenged myself, and I didn't watch it with English subtitles. I watched it completely Japanese with Japanese-only subtitles, and I did not figure out that Baki's dad was who he is until I put on the subtitles. I felt so ashamed. I was like, wow, 3 years self-study Japanese, and I can't even figure that out.
I feel you. Because sometimes, like, do you watch all anime unsubbed now then? Or do you watch like some subbed, some unsubbed?
It depends. Usually what I'll do is if it's one that I've seen before, I'll watch it without subtitles.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do watch it with subtitles, but they're Japanese subtitles. So I at least get the kanji to like help me out if I can't really hear how
the
something's
kanji helps
pronounced
a lot.
right.
Yeah. Do you, if there's like something you don't understand, do you like rewind as well and
Yeah.
like just to see if you
Sounds like a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. I mean,
That's how you learn, man.
that's how you're not watching it in the same way that you're watching to enjoy anymore. It is a learning experience.
Study material.
Yeah.
It is study material. I mean, in terms of study material, I can think of worse
Like-
study material than anime. But
for sure.
it's the sacrifice you have to make, I guess, to make.
Well, that's why you got to like use like a series you've already seen and like are familiar with, right?
I felt
you're
really
not
bad
learning
because
experience.
like when I was hanging out with some Japanese friends and everyone was watching Kaiji and I watched it too. And of course there were no English subtitles.
No.
So I was watching and I recall going home and going on Wikipedia and looking up what happened from each episode.
I mean, there are
it's
some
bad.
shows that are easier to follow than others. I can barely follow like the rules of what is happening in Kaiji in English,
Yeah.
let alone in another language.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
true.
Yeah.
I mean, those Peppa Pig plot lines, man. Those things are fucking complex, man.
Oh, you know
Very
it.
complex.
Honestly, you laugh, but yeah, I took Lady Beard's advice and I started watching Peppa Pig in Japanese.
told me, yeah.
And I could tell my Japanese was improving by how much of Peppa Pig I could understand. And then it got to a point where I could understand 80 to 90% of Peppa Pig. And that was the first time I felt, holy shit, I'm actually making fucking progress.
It's like Thanos with his hand, like power. Oh, this is power.
Holy shit, Peppa Pig's a good show.
And then I graduated to normal anime after that. And even then, there are some anime, you have to be very selective in the anime you watch if you want to treat anime as a study material. Because some things are just like, just like so far beyond your level.
Baki seems like a hard one to choose.
Yeah, because I feel like Baki would be pretty hard because there's so much explanation of like what is happening on screen and like the backstory and stuff.
Oh, trust me, I read the manga and I sometimes have to like double take, being like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm pretty sure I'm fluent in this language and it doesn't look like my language.
Yeah, it's like sometimes Baki is like a visual storytelling medium, and then sometimes it's really not. You know, it's a give
sometimes
and
it's a novel.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember where I was. We just left the prison. Please don't spoil it for me. Please, chat. Please, I beg of you, don't spoil it for me. We also do fake
Did you
spoilers
just say
in my
chat?
chat. listen, no, because they will watch this. Listen, they will watch
Static
this.
chat.
Listen. You got some time now between this episode airing
to
finish.
Marathon. I'll just on it because we do fake spoilers in my chat. So people, you can't trust anyone what anyone's saying. So I say, guys, throw out some fake spoilers. So people who are putting out real spoilers could be lying. We don't know. That's how I protect my chat.
Oh, don't worry.
from getting
Baki's one of those
spoiled.
shows where you could give out a real spoiler and you'd be like, I guess that's what happens.
We gave out a bunch last episode, actually.
Yeah. We literally just talked about Baki, so it's
so good.
Wasn't planned at all that we'd mention Baki again.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for building on what we said before.
Please go and watch Baki.
Yeah.
Watch Baki.
Please, I beg.
It is now
Great.
VTuber approved.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yes.
Grim Reaper approved. Watch Baki.
I know you guys are here too because I know I have a lot of fans of me who literally come to my stream and say I came here from Trash Taste. A lot of deadbeats whose names I see over and over and over again who are always there. I'm really thankful to you guys. Thank you so much for bringing me so many cool deadbeats.
Of course. No, you came on, man.
Yeah.
You did the work.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just sat here.
I just sat here and asked you questions.
How has it been since that episode, and how has like life been in Japan over the last year?
Oh man, interestingly enough, and I hate to say it, it's been a little sad only because I really haven't gotten out of the house much, and like I can't figure out if it's because of the situation the world is in or because now I'm officially a workaholic. So I can't figure it out.
I think I know.
Say both.
I think I know which is the
Oh,
answer to
really?
that one. If I had to
Say
take a
both,
guess.
just to distract yourself.
Yeah, it's probably just like a combination of both.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also a workaholic, so I know it's the second one.
Oh man, outed in front of everyone. What can you do?
That's how it is, man. He's married.
I remember when Connor wasn't a workaholic, and then he discovered streaming, and then that was like the spare time that he had is now like dedicated to streaming.
It turns out when you don't really enjoy what you're making, it's really easy to like not do it. But when you enjoy it, it's like really hard to not do it.
Yeah,
Right.
It's kind of like a
Spitting bars, bro.
Yeah.
imagine enjoying your job.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I just thought a job was something you don't enjoy, but you do because you have to do it because everyone does it. That's what my perception of jobs was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I worked at McDonald's for fuck's sake. You think I like that? I hated that.
Want to know where I worked?
Where?
Where?
God?
Remind me.
Maybe we can.
Remind me.
Callie, do you know where I worked before?
I think I do.
Remind me
I
again.
think I remember.
So I worked at the BBC before.
That's right.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, ABC now? Something like that.
That's the American company.
Yeah, that's right.
You
yeah.
must have loved it because you never shut up about it.
I never shut up about it because I fucking hated it.
I don't bring up McDonald's every goddamn week. I love that the people repost clips of you from like years ago now talking about how you used to work at the BBC.
Yeah, before it was a meme. Before it was a meme.
on Garnt's business card, it actually says, we used to work at the BBC.
Did it actually?
No, it didn't.
I'm like, I wouldn't put it past you to do that.
Ex-BBC employee.
Yeah.
No, it does. It did. For the record, he's just talking shit. It never
Certified
said that.
BBC employee.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
So yeah, like, on the vein of that, do you properly see this as a job, or is it just something that you enjoy so much that it doesn't feel like a job and it's just so easy to do?
That's a really good question. I mean, all before this, I was also working, for example, service jobs. There was never a point in my life where I wasn't working a job. It was usually a job I didn't like, but I was saving up money to go to Japan, And even when I started doing scythe swinging lessons, that was also something that I had a hard time with. Every day, waking up and feeling like going to the same thing, it like wasn't satisfying to me. I think that there are plenty of people that can work desk jobs and office jobs that love it and have a great time. Or even if they don't love it, they're fine enough with it to go home and just have a drink
content
and watch
with
your
it.
favorite
Yeah,
show. And that's perfectly fine.
I was under the impression that people just went to work and then they did it just so that they could like play games in the evening. That's what I thought jobs were when I was growing up.
Well, I mean,
I think
for
that
some people
I
it is.
think there is jobs for most people.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
that
Yeah,
I know.
well, that's why then when I
Yeah.
was like, when I was doing YouTube and there was sometime I wasn't enjoying it. There was some parts I didn't enjoy. I was like, oh, this is normal. This is a normal job. But now I really like it. I'm addicted.
Yeah. Which is
For me, it like comes in waves, right? It depends on whether you're working, whether you enjoy what you're working on or not. Sometimes if you're really passionate about it,
Fair.
it's just easy to do. And when you're not enjoying it, then it is a grind. You know,
Right.
that's the sacrifice that we make for being in very lucky positions. You know,
super lucky.
yeah.
But I will say it's okay to not have a passion. I just want to put that out there. It's
I agree,
fine
I
to not
agree.
have one. I think it's perfectly fine to just do your job that you hopefully don't hate. If you hate, if you hate it, I think you should stop it. And find a job that you don't hate at the very least, and then go home and just do your hobby, do what makes you happy. I think that's great. But if you do have a passion, then I think it's nice to at least give it a try. To try to get it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Unfortunately, as well, most of the time, hobbies or passions aren't monetizable passions.
And then, but when you do start to monetize it, it stops becoming your hobby.
We spend on this a ton, right? Like it's
Yeah.
I mean, I think because obviously you're surrounded in media, especially by people who are passionate about something because they're there, right?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
get there by not being passionate. So I definitely agree that it does give you this false sense of everyone has to have a passion, right?
Right.
Like,
And
bro,
also,
it's cool.
I feel like I see a lot of interviews that say things like, from people, for example, like us, who have been very successful at what we do. I see a lot of people say over and over again, just go for your dream. You can do it if you really believe and work super hard. I know that I've said something like that in the past, but I want to very quickly correct myself.
Dreams are a lie.
Here's the thing.
Backpedal, 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 backpedal.
You need two things. You got to realize that you're taking a risk, you're making a gamble, because you need two things. You need to work hard and you need to be extremely lucky. And you need to have both of them. You can't just have one. You got to have both. But the problem is, if you don't work extremely hard, then there's no chance. There's no chance it'll ever
and
happen.
it's scary to take that chance in your life sometimes, because some people just don't have a safety net, and so like they fucking YOLO everything into this passion, and I'm just like I couldn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
You know? like I respect anyone who has the guts to do that. Like for me, like I had to save up for like a year's worth of wages that I could live comfortably on before I was even comfortable quitting to try and do YouTube.
Yeah, it could have been 3 more videos.
Yeah, I know, right?
we may never know.
The 3 lost videos that God could have made in that year. I'm sorry, God.
But I think that even the fact that you had the balls to do that is quite admirable, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to get into either what we do or some kind of creative field that might have a year, 5 years, 10 years worth of savings, and they could just never take that first step forward.
Yeah.
So I think just doing that, for me, it's like I was still at school when I started this whole thing. So, I had that safety net of if it doesn't work out, I'll just get my degree, get a fucking job.
It's also difficult because I feel like when you're talking to other people who are successful in that particular field, you almost get this not survivor bias, but like everyone's done it.
Yeah.
So how do you get an actual view of the whole picture or the whole playing field if your only perspective is from talking to people who've made it? So sometimes I think but then how can you can't go to someone like, hey, you've been trying this for 15 years and you just failed. Hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Can I just figure out what's going on? Like you can't,
Yeah.
Remember that traumatic time where you tried to make it and you didn't?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
There's, it's not always like that where people just do it forever. Like people give up for many reasons.
Yeah,
People just stop. They don't necessarily give up, but there's a lot of factors that come into play. But also I do think that sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just talking to other people who have just made it too much, and I feel like I can't actually get a good perspective.
Yeah,
what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I think that we've just talked to enough people where you see certain patterns. Like
That's true, that's true.
everyone has a different path. Not everyone has exactly the same path, but you notice certain patterns that keep cropping up, and you're like, I kind of did that as well, and I'm just like, because I thought that at the beginning there is nothing you can do to guarantee success, and there is nothing you can do to guarantee success in our field, but there are certainly things you can do to increase your chances.
Yeah, true.
Right? And I feel like that just comes with knowledge, right? That just comes with just the trial and error, and just like what Callie's experience, where you start off, you don't know what you're doing, and then eventually you do it enough, and then you're able to get the opportunity to see what works and what doesn't. And obviously we've all been very lucky, as you say, as Callie said, you need luck to succeed in this field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You do.
but there are other things you can do that can increase your chances of success as well. So there's no guarantees, but there is ways, I think, that you can increase your chances.
What do you think you would be doing now if you weren't a Reaper? If it had never happened?
Man, to be honest with you though, I genuinely, answering 100% honest, I'd still be trying.
Yeah.
I'd still be trying
music,
to make it
right?
with music.
Yeah, I believe it.
I would not, I just don't think I would have given up because I don't know what else to do. See, that's the other thing, guys. If you got to recognize that it's a gamble, so you better like it. You better really, really love it so that even if you don't quote unquote pop off or succeed, you love like every second of doing it, I think is the most important. Like back when I first came on the podcast, I feel like I didn't fully grasp it yet. I was so kind of like, whoa, I'm suddenly doing really well, way better than I've ever been in my life. This is because I worked hard. I just worked super hard.
I remember you coming on and you were so like bright-eyed and you're just like so optimistic.
And now you're dead on the inside.
I mean, that's why I had to like step back for a minute though and correct myself and say I was a little conceited back then, wasn't fully aware of what I was doing. But of course, once you change your stance on something on the internet, you're a hypocrite. So that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, things can't change.
Yeah. God forbid.
When did it like start to hit you of like, oh, this is what the life is like? Oh.
Let me see. That's another really good question. You guys got some bangers today.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Like interrogating.
I'm just genuinely curious.
The gears are grinding. The gears are grinding. Let me see. It must have been at the 1 million subscriber endurance stream. I think that was when it really hit me. Things are going to be extra different from now on. Wow. That was when we were really popping off, though. Everyone was exploding every single day with new subs and new members, and that was like the prime, and that was when it really hit me like, oh, wow, this is the craziest thing I've ever done in my existence, and I'm extremely lucky.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was kind of when I changed my stance on, you just need to work hard to get far in life. I realized, no, that's a little conceited to say that. It's not true. It's not real life.
Do you feel that, mentioning that, you said that there was like a big pop off and explosion. Do you feel like the scene has changed a bit? Of the way the viewers interact changed over the year? Because I feel like the peak of it is kind of, or like the hype peak, like the newness of it has kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's okay to admit that it's kind of died down a lot, actually. The market is really saturated right now. This is me putting
you don't say. You don't say.
First time.
It's just the truth. That is the plain truth of it all. There are a lot of people interested in VTubing now. It has gotten really big. A lot of people have come in, and also a lot of people have left. A lot of people have tried it out for several months and realized it's not for them. All the power to them, good for them. But that's just kind of like how it's gone. That's how it goes with anything. You realize you're into something, you stick with it. You realize it's not your thing, you drop out, and that's cool. But that's why there's been a bit of like a wave, I think. And, everyone, I think a lot of people have, seen VTubers. They kind of know what they are, especially in like the anime sphere, I guess. And I feel like that's just how things go sometimes, the longevity of something. I hope that people continue doing this. I hope this keeps being something fun that everyone can enjoy.
I think VTubers are going to be around for like the future, because I feel like we've had our popularity peak, especially in the English community, and now it is much more saturated, and but I don't think it's like died down. I think it's more like it's just leveled off.
Right.
It's plateaued.
It's plateud. That was the word I was looking for.
English language.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Did
you learn that from Duolingo?
People are coming up with new ideas every day and amazing new technology. Some of these, indie VTubers with 3D that they're doing is like mind-blowing stuff, and I think it's going to keep, evolving in its own way, and I'm really excited to see.
Do you ever feel like the pressure to have to keep up to keep relevant, as the YouTube, the word every YouTuber fucking loves?
Staying relevant. Oh man, I mean, I think that's a worry for everyone, and if they say it isn't, then they're lying straight to your face. It at least is a teeny tiny bit, just a little bit, especially when it's your job. You do worry about things like that, but I feel like my interest in numbers drastically waned after I feel like a lot of the core fan base came in, and we still get new deadbeats all the time. Always very welcome and opening to them. But it's like I stopped caring as much about the number situation when I started to genuinely enjoy streaming and making music, you know, as me.
Yeah.
Right.
Mori.
Is it ever like a frustrating when, because, you know, we're kind of in the same thing, but we're all like our own unique kind of channel and whatnot. Is it ever like a frustrating thing that, you know, because you obviously all the VTubers come in as one package. It's like, this is the generation.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that there's not this kind of weird sense of competition amongst fellow VTubers? Because you're all kind of the same thing, right? And you're you're not the same, but you're the same target audience, right?
Yeah.
Like Joey talks about manga, not anime, and I might go and do something silly, right? Or Garnt's talking about Fate. You know, it's totally different audience, even though we are kind of in the same market, right? But with VTubing, I always wonder how do you like stop that from happening, like a competition like that?
You know, it's hard for me to speak on behalf of the entire VTuber community.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
as much as I support and love like the work of what indies are doing, I don't have enough energy in my life to go socialize with many outside of Holo, which I think is a shame, and I wish I could, but it's kind of difficult to do. So I can really only speak about what I've seen within Holo, but I just feel like somehow there was some kind of magic involved in the selection process where they chose people that we just don't really get extra jealous of each other. I mean, it's good. At least that's just me saying from my perspective. I don't know what's going through the other heads. I can't speak on their behalf, but I can say from me, genuinely, the people that they chose, I look at them and I just want to see them succeed. And I feel like a part of me is questioning it, like, well, shouldn't you be wanting to be better than X and so? But I can't. I just can't parse that feeling. I just don't feel it. That is the truth. I mean, of course, there's me wanting to be my best, but I guess here's a good example I can give you from my past. I had my first really, really close friend ever was a friend that I met in middle school who was the new kid. She moved to my city. I had no friends in that school. It was not great, but this new kid came and she was drawing. She had a how to draw manga book.
Hell yeah.
And I had been trying to figure out, like, what is that art style called? Because I didn't know where to search for it. I was young. I had no idea. And so she explained it to me. She opened up the whole world to me and she let me borrow it. And that was when I started drawing. And I came to school the next day and people were like, wow, you can draw really well. You both are really good. Some people were saying, Callie, you're actually, you're maybe a little better. And I was like, no, that's not true. But that was the feeling that I got of, I can do something. I can do something and be good at it. And people are, looking at what I'm doing. And then of course, my friend was also like, oh, hell yeah, let's learn together. And we became friendly rivals in that, like, we were always kind of working alongside each other, drawing, and like, maybe you show your friend a picture you drew. Hey, this is my original character. Oh, cool, here's mine. And like, you're still friends, but like, there's this feeling of, I got to keep up with this person, And as I started being involved in more art communities, as I grew older and, met friends on the internet, etc., we all were still cool and friends with each other, but seeing others' hard work made us want to keep up. That kind of thing. So and so drew this well. I want to try doing that. Let me see how I can do. So it's not like an outright feeling of jealousy, but it's a feeling of wanting to like make yourself better to keep up, I guess. And it's like friendly competition, just in your
That's good. Yeah, that sounds very healthy.
Yeah, that's how it was for me personally. So no bad feelings.
That was a very good answer, dude.
That was the most wholesome answer.
Yeah.
I was like, waiting for the blood to be spilled. I was like, I'm kidding.
And then I stabbed her with the pen.
That's what happens.
Who's drawing now?
In a close group of friends, that kind of like healthy competition can form, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of like a wide group of people competing together like a death game. For example, death games on the mind. Sorry, guys. But,
I was going to say back on the death games.
Back on the death games. But if it's like a small group of friends, it's really easy to foster like a healthy competition.
Yeah.
I think it's that like whole mentality that a lot of people still, struggle to understand of like, if one person succeeds, then, the rest can also come up.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality. And I feel that like, at least on like YouTube and stuff like that, and probably, in the VTuber community as well, where it's like, if one VTuber succeeds, then everyone in that same genre can also kind of rise up together as a community. And I feel though, especially like a lot of the smaller creators still don't quite understand that yet, I think, in my eyes, like where it's like, I need to be better than this person.
Well, normally the biggest channel in any genre is an indication of, the size you can get to.
The cap of
it's normally a good way. So if someone at the top is blowing up, that's normally a good thing.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
more audience to trickle down.
Like I wouldn't have come back to YouTube if I didn't see Joey blowing up, because I thought I thought when I quit YouTube I'd like reached the ceiling.
I need my crown back.
I was the guinea pig for Garnt. It's like, wow, he's made it far.
Yeah, because I was just like I thought that I had reached the ceiling of anime content on YouTube, and at the time I had, because anime just wasn't as popular. So I'm just.
And then I was like, out of the way.
Yeah. I completed YouTube.
I came back for YouTube too.
The sequel. The long-awaited sequel.
You were saying, Callie.
Sorry, no,
Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I was thinking, like, personally, I think the most healthy way to like compete in general, though, isn't to think about who you're gonna go past, but beating the you of yesterday. So inspirational. Hashtag wow.
Hell
Corny,
yeah.
Just
corny as hell.
inspirational things.
Hashtag
Just
motivated.
inspirational things.
Sounds like a scene out of Bucky.
But
You're only as good as how many times you've had sex. That's Becky.
that's right. But I mean, if you think about it, though, it really, there is some truth to it. As long as you are doing better than your past self, as long as I'm doing better than past me, I feel good.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to compare yourself to others and then hold yourself to an absurd standard.
Right.
We all want to be the Giga Chad, but we can't.
Yeah.
We can't.
Would you have like any advice to up and coming VTubers nowadays? Now they've had like a year of experience, right?
Right.
You're the senpai now.
Yeah, you are the senpai now.
I am. Let's see. Maybe just I'll pass along some advice that my senpai had given to me. Never stop doing new things. Keep trying new stuff. And that's the only way to be, I think, is to keep pushing the boundaries and see what kind of wonderful stuff can come from this. I think that's my advice to you guys, just passing on what I've been told.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that's good advice for like any content creators, VTuber or not. Do you feel sometimes that you would have an easier time being like, say, an indie VTuber without having to like worry about management and things like that?
Oh, that's right. Well, the way that I kind of view it is, there are restrictions, and for the most part, I get why they're in place. Right here, right now, with me as I am, I'm happy to kind of like work around things. For example, there are games that I can't always stream, and I can't do it at all, actually, and that's fine. A lot of them are ones that I like a lot. But at the end of the day, like I said, been trying to be more positive recently. So the way that I think about it is, you know what? Out of this list, I will choose the ones that I like, and I will have fun with them. And I think that's the best way to go about it, because, life is long, for the most part.
Touch wood.
And you can do, because of me, it's not as long as it could be. But however, you do a lot of things in your life, in your existence, and what one life ends, one begins, etc. That's how it was for me a long time ago. So you never know what the future will hold. But right now, with me as I am, just the Mori in front of you, I can find workarounds and ways to still have fun with the restrictions that are in place. And I think that's kind of the attitude to have if you're going to go into this and join a big company like Hololive. You just gotta kind of work with it, get over it.
Was it something that you were expecting, the restrictions, or was it kind of a shock?
I think in the beginning I thought that it would be a bit different. However, I don't think, like I mentioned before, none of us knew how big this was going to be. And when that happens, things kind of change a bit.
Right, when there's more money involved, more people get involved.
Yeah.
Imagine, just imagine.
Damn it, capitalism.
That's how business works, man.
Things blow up,
Yeah, when stuff blows up, everyone wants to take credit for it.
Yeah.
That's how
God's sake, Joey.
we live in a society.
We're trying to keep this politics free.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Society.
You're right.
Yeah, society.
Just try to stay positive,
What are some of like the top ideas that you would want to do if you had no restrictions at all?
Oh man, it's mostly games, to be honest, that I think about collabs that I'd want to do with people that just can't realistically happen. And it's like there's not just like protest from my side, either from management, but also from people who watch me, and I pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't let it completely influence me, but I do look at it and try to factor in as much as I can. So this is why I have no energy, because there's so much going on in my brain, analyzing so much.
So you pay attention to what games the chat wants you to play?
I do, but that's because like I genuinely want like everyone to have a good time, and if I see the same thing happen over and over again, you know, it gets in my mind. But again, it goes back to the point where I said you can't. Every single nice thing that's said to you that's a critique is not necessarily going to help you or be helpful to you. So I just try to keep that in mind and stay open-minded the whole time. But it's mostly just games and collabs that I wish I could do that I kind of realistically can't. But it doesn't mean that they'll never ever happen ever in the history of ever. It's just not like this. You know? And I think that's fine. Personally.
Thank you for letting Callie come back on.
Trash taste. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm happy to be here. I
appreciate
so many
it.
ladies love Trash Taste. And I certainly am happy to be a guest here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of future, though, like what's in the future of Callie recently?
You know, there's a lot of ideas that I have, especially in terms of original song a month. That's still a thing that's happening. I've got a big collab song coming out with a fellow member of EN. I think I've talked about this. I don't know how much of this will be teased by the time that this comes out, but I hope you guys are looking forward to it. It is huge, and we're working with a huge producer, like the likes of which I never thought I'd be able to work with. So
Jay Khaled.
Could you imagine?
The guy who wrote the Pokemon rap.
Like, damn, valiant effort, Callie.
I'm excited to see it. You
I'm
guys
very
got that.
excited to see
Yeah.
that.
I hope that you guys will enjoy it. We've been working really hard on it, and in general, I'm just trying to prepare for another big release someday, and you know, also in my crystal ball, we've got a possibility of I'd really like to do a world tour someday.
Ooh.
You know,
that would be hype.
Yeah, that would be hype.
I mean, definitely at some point while I'm doing this, hopefully we will get a world tour. Fingers crossed.
The world needs to open up
towards it.
first before we can
Yeah,
have a world
exactly.
tour. Well, I say the world.
The world can't heal until Callie goes to every country. It's not possible.
The Grim Reaper has to heal you.
The healing has not been done yet, God. It hasn't happened.
Exactly. Leave it to me. Aside from that, though, in the more immediate future, we have Anime NYC happening on what was it, November 20th. November 20th. That's right. We have a booth there.
Jay Chad's like, yeah.
That's it. We have a booth happening.
It's nice to see that whiteboard being used for something other than like saying incest.
Yeah.
For once.
Like actual
Incredible.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at Anime NYC, we have a booth, a holo booth. But at that same place, we have a collab popping off. I'm sure you guys have seen by now with Omocat, who is designing clothes for all of us in Holo EN Myth right now, and so that is extremely exciting. Because I've been a big fan of Omocat for years and years and years. It's like a dream collab.
Yeah, Omacat's like the OGs.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, really amazing work. And also the creator of Omori. I played that game on stream. It was a long stream.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
One of my favorite endurance streams of all time. So yeah, I'm just really glad that, you know, we got to work with all of them, and yeah, it's just really cool. I'm excited for you guys to see the clothes. They're awesome. Please buy them, please wear them, and go check out the booth. Yeah.
Sounds like you've got a lot of exciting things coming up.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Stacked schedule, TM.
Yeah, right.
Even now, there's still a lot of fun stuff going on, which is a relief that after a year, it's not like things are slowing down or anything. No, we've still got a lot going on, and you guys haven't seen everything that Myth or even EN has cooked up just yet, so stay tuned.
I have a feeling you'll continue to be very busy.
Yeah. It just seems like it's speeding up.
Yeah.
I was just like, maybe you'll find some free time coming up. Oh, the world's opening back. Oh, well, fuck me, man.
Rip 6 hours.
Rip 6. It's like, where do I find time? Well, sleep's only like 6 hours. Like,
Can I work while I sleep? I gotta figure that out. Yeah.
That's why you were talking in your sleep before, right? You were planning your next moves.
Right, planning my next stream.
Why am I streaming in my sleep then, guys? What's going on there?
Yeah, I guess before we end things off, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
You did give me shit about pizza crust last time.
Did.
So I got to ask. Boneless chicken or in-bone chicken?
Boneless.
Yes.
I mean,
What I'm talking about.
I'm done, guys. Thank you for coming to this episode of Trash Taste.
It's just the most obvious.
I would shake your hand, but we're on a different virtual plane.
Exactly. I am in another dimension, so it's kind of rough, but
Congratulations.
Virtual high five for that one.
Yeah.
Garnt is now the 4th member of Trash Taste. Callie is now the 3rd member of Trash
Yay, glad
Taste.
to
I'm
be
going to
here,
ask this
guys.
every time a guest comes on. I'm going to find one fucking person who is on my side.
Tell me why boneless is better than
Yeah,
bone-in.
why do you like the boneless? Why it's better than bone-in?
Yeah,
Because
tell
the
me why.
bone's annoying.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want to eat around the bone.
It's
plus
worth
you
the
eat-
taste, okay?
you
It's
eat
worth the
around
taste.
bone and you start to see all the little veins and like dark spots pop out. It's nasty. I don't want to eat the chicken anymore.
I think you should stop asking that question unless you want to get owned every episode.
I'm going to find a fellow brother or sister. So someone is going to come here and back me up, okay?
Someone out there.
One day, you know who you are. You're out there right now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that time.
POV,
Man,
you're a
I'm
clown.
gonna go to him. He needs this. He needs this.
My God. Well,
I'm no longer a VTuber fan now.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. No,
Friendship
go
with
back.
VTuber over.
Listen, I'm sure there's a VTuber
Bone
out
chicken
there
is my
that'll-
best friend now.
Listen,
Oh my God.
Go and eat your savage chicken.
I mean, I can eat bone in.
No, I can. I just
Yeah.
don't want to. I would prefer boneless because I'm not an animal.
You can't eat bone in. It's
Yeah.
not that much of an effort.
I can do it if I have
I
to.
can, yeah.
I don't like it. If I got like 50 wet wipes on hand, yeah, we can talk
Yeah,
about
sure.
doing it, but I don't want to.
Let's not start this. Well,
Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Add another
Callie.
hour to the podcast. Of course. I'm always happy to come hang out with you guys, and it's been a blast.
Thank you very much for coming back on.
Yeah.
Of course. Anytime.
Of course, we shouldn't tell you this, but link in the description below to go check out Callie and all of her stuff. You guys already know.
Yeah,
about
come
it.
hang
Yeah,
out
yeah,
if
yeah.
you'd like.
I gotta know. Are we premiering this episode again? Are we doing a
We
premiere?
getting the super chats ready?
Oh, God.
It's time.
Super chat? We getting the super chat?
I completely forgot about that.
Let's
yeah.
premiere it. Let's
Yeah.
premiere it.
I guess we're premiering.
So throw
it.
your super chats right now.
Okay, this is the last chance.
God.
Get the super
Yeah,
chats
yeah.
in.
Don't
Last-
tempt them.
Last
Don't
chance to
tempt
do it
them.
because the patrons are here now. Here they are.
Oh, don't tempt
That's how you
them,
know the
please.
episode is airing.
Oh, God.
Look at them. They'll throw super chats. But hey, if you enjoyed the show,
Oh, you gotta say don't do it.
yeah, no,
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 don't
no,
give
no.
us money.
No, don't give
no,
us money.
don't.
Don't give us
Yeah.
money.
No,
I mean,
my
either way,
least favorite color is red, so don't. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate it, but it does. There is a common theme, even when I'm in other streams. The more that they say no, don't, the more that people get real rambunctious and see it as a challenge.
Yes, please. I hate it. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God.
Is that a
Nothing more
VTuber
in this
life hack I just heard right there?
Jeez.
I can't stand colors.
Just say no.
Disgusting. Just
I hate
say
money.
no.
I hate money.
But hey, if you like to support the show, then make sure to go over to
Don't
our
donate to
Patreon.
our Patreon.
Yeah.
Don't go to our Patreon.
No,
Look
wait
at
a
these
minute.
guys. Look at these patrons. You don't want to be one of these people,
I don't know
okay?
if it'll work.
Okay, especially this guy. Don't be that guy.
This guy's a loyal supporter, but that, I mean, come on.
Yes. He doesn't throw a super chat. I love
God.
it. Just saying.
Can I see his name right here in the super chat? No.
I'm sorry. We're terrible people. I'm sorry. We're terrible. We don't deserve a show.
Yeah.
But if you would like to support the show, make sure to go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also, follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, thanks for coming on, Callie.
Of course,
Yeah.
anytime. Thank you for having
It's
me.
been great just seeing you like grow in the last year.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
like
you.
been awesome seeing you just like fucking become really confident as a streamer and just a content creator in general. And now I feel like I remember the first time you coming on, it did feel like you were very bright-eyed, you were very optimistic, and now I feel like we have a lot more in common.
Just a little more realistic,
Yeah.
a little more realistic.
I can tell. I could tell the exact moment when you stopped giving a fuck about what people thought and just like enjoy doing your own thing.
Hell yeah.
To, like,
That's a good sign. It's a good sign.
it's like a rite of passage as a content creator. And
I
I'm-
suppose
So join
so.
us. Yeah. You've made it. Join us.
Well, the same could be said for you guys. You guys have definitely popped off as well. This new place is amazing.
oh yeah.
Thank you for inviting me to it.
I'm glad you didn't have to go over the trip hazard this time.
Right.
And we got to sit. You actually got to sit in the guest seat this time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not like this corner, which was.
Technology is evolving.
Yeah, exactly. We've also evolved with the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's been this episode of Trash Taste. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you guys next week.
I guess we say,
Bye-bye.
we need to say peace, right?
Yeah, we got to say peace
Oh, yeah.
super loud. All right,
Okay,
ready?
all right.
3, 2, 1. Peace! Bye-bye.